Idiots and dope addicts are here.
You ever see that Nirvana guy live?
What Nirvana guy?
There was 3 of them.
That Nirvana guy. That
Kurt Cobain?
Well, I thought it was just one guy.
No.
Nirvana. Kurt Cobain.
Nirvana. They was 3 of them.
Yeah. What now? Is there a particular on this
on this day?
Yeah. Okay.
1991. Nirvana released their second studio album, Nevermind.
What was it?
That was it.
Oh, Nevermind. I seen that Nirvana guy live in New York on stage, and it was really good.
Yeah.
And actually the reason we went to this concert, some record promoters took us there. That was the trip to New York. I also saw Terrence Trent D'Arby.
He's the next big thing.
I know. A totally forgettable show. But opening for Nirvana was Jesus Lizard.
Ooh.
And they were really good as well. Maybe even a little better on that day than Nirvana. It was a great evening.
Carrie, before people yell at you.
What?
In Utero was the second album. Nevermind was the first.
That's not what this little fact sheet said.
Really?
Well, a little fact sheet said it was their second.
Bloom was in Utero. But.
In Bloom was on Nevermind. I looked up the track list. And In Utero came after Nevermind.
But Nevermind was their first album. You said second.
Oh, they had an album before that.
Yeah.
It had the smiley face on it.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was that the studio album?
Mm-hmm.
What's
considered an album?
Is it Nevermind with the baby, the naked baby?
Nevermind's with the baby.
Nevermind's the baby.
Naked baby swimming in the water.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So and when he does On This Day, this is authoritative.
I know.
This is authoritative stuff.
I get it from the internet.
Come on, God.
It's bound to be correct. Occasionally.
So this is the part of the show where we just kind of mess around.
Yeah,
it's not official.
It's not even,
So even if that were wrong, it doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
No.
So.
Now, do we have Geek News today?
Yes. 8:45.
Because I watched the Star Trek last night.
Oh, you did? I did not stay up to watch
Star Trek. Oh, I wish you'd seen it.
It was at 7. I'm down and out at 7.
Yeah, and we kind of taped it and watched it so I could get to bed by about 8:10. But yeah, it's I don't know.
You go to bed at 8:10.
I had 2 people that I trust implicitly say they like it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was undecided. I was not thrilled. It's flashy and noisy, but we'll talk about it coming up. All right, let's. I guess we should. We'll officially begin the program in a couple of minutes.
We're asking for calls.
Yeah, take your check-ins. 877-602-9696. 877-602-9696. That's the number where you call and participate in the least popular feature we have ever done.
It's so not popular, we don't even have a prize for it.
Wow.
It's check-ins. Just call. Tell us what you're doing, how you're feeling, what your agenda is for the day. We need to keep tabs on all of you, which is pretty easy to do because there are not that many of you out there. 877-602.
It's easy to keep track when there's not that many.
Yeah, 877-602-9696. Call and check in now.
All right. Hoops Vision Correction.
Yeah, it's our good friend, Dr. Philip Hoops Sr. and Philip Hoops Jr. And summer's winding down, or it has wound down. And but there's still a lot of stuff you want to do. There's still outdoor concerts coming up.
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't it be nice to do those outdoor concerts without wearing glasses or contact lenses?
Because they fog up anyway.
Well, yeah. Now that's the thing I remember about wearing glasses. It's cold outside. You walk inside. Your glasses fog up.
Go to Niagara Falls. You can't see the falls.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
That's a good example. You shut up, Gina.
So, Hoops Vision will work with you to. They'll tell you. You just call them. It's a free consultation. 877-30-LASIK. That's 877-305-2745. They'll consult with you. They'll talk about payment plans. I think you'll be happy. I think you'll be surprised how easy it is to do. It's hoopsvision.com for more.
X96 is your...
He yells, F off.
Hug off.
I mean, why? I would think you would prefer to use the bike lane.
Sure.
Why would it be more attractive to drive down the sidewalk than
What sort
the
of...
bike lane?
What could you tell? What sort of
It was
biker and...
well, he was casual, I think.
Was it a hipster or was it,
It was
a guy?
kind of a hipster.
Or was it a DUI guy?
It was a mountain bike, younger guy, no helmet.
Not a DUI guy.
No. But then a minute later, so I just kept walking. A minute later, he scoots right up next to me.
Were you nervous?
And I'm like, I didn't know what to think. He said, dude, I listen every morning. That was an awesome interaction.
He turned around and came back.
He realized who it was that he had just told to hug off. Yeah.
And I went, okay. I just, the mayor spent an awful lot of time and money on that bike lane. I just thought you might want to use it, is all.
Did he explain why?
He rambled about how he's a passenger, he's a rider, he's a pedestrian, he just goes wherever, some sort of crazy.
Oh, he's like...
It didn't make any sense, and I just kept walking. So.
But he turned around and
Came back.
Did he apologize?
Did not apologize. I think that was his way of apologizing.
saying I listen to your show.
Saying
is
I
an
listen to your show
apology.
every morning after I tell you to F off.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think I might have said, that doesn't make it okay.
I didn't care to interact anymore. Once he started going on about how he's a pedestrian and a passenger and all
Doesn't
that,
make any sense.
I went, okay, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk.
Call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
617.
Your check-ins, 877-602-9696. This is such an unpopular feature. It doesn't even have a sponsor, does it?
Does it?
It doesn't have a sponsor or a prize.
Or a
I don't even know
prize.
why we're doing it.
Now, the opening of the show has a sponsor, though,
Yes.
doesn't it?
So let's do that.
All right.
Get unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus with Power Cashback credit card from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. Get details at ssfcu.org.
All right. The moon is, 26.4% of full. It is a waxing crescent moon. The next full moon looks like it will be October 5th at 12:40 p.m. The moon will rise today at 12:33 p.m., today being a Monday. It's the 25th day of September in the year of our Lord 2017. And this is North America's most toothsome radio broadcast. It's the Radio from Hell Show, starring the Lords of Morning Radio, Kerry Jackson, Bill Allred, and Gina Barberi. The senior executive producer of the Radio from Hell Show is Richard Thomas Stedman. Dylan Allred is producing video for the show, which you can see at x96.com/live. And Katie, for short, is here helping out today. It is now we're winding down.
Last week.
September. Today I should tell you it's National Lobster Day.
Ooh.
National
Go for some lobster.
National One Hit Wonder Day.
Oh, I should have played a one-hit wonder.
We can do that for the potty break.
And is it now? It says here National Comic Book Day. Is that correct?
Could be.
It's not free comic book day.
That must be different from free comic.
Yeah, free comic book day's in May.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, it's National Comic Book Day.
All right, and for
I have one in that bag.
well, there you go.
Just emergency.
As a matter of fact, I will make it a part of Geek News. How about that?
Sure.
All right.
And for September, here is your Z word of the day. It is zaftig.
I know this one.
Zaftig, as in a woman having usually referred to women with full, rounded figures. Plump women. Zaftig
What are
women.
you looking at me for?
Like Rubens. Well,
Yes.
You're firm. You're firm and fully packed.
Really?
Yeah, you're you know.
Are you giving me a Bugs Bunny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna.
Yeah,
dig it up,
I couldn't remember exactly how
I'm in the
quote
wrong.
goes.
I got it right here.
Okay. Yeah. How does it
Give
go?
me a second here.
It's as Bugs Bunny would say, Gina. This describes you, I think, to a T. He was referring to a woman, an opera singer, as I recall.
I don't remember.
I think it was the woman wearing the big the horns and the hat. Anyway, this is
So round, so fine, so fully packed.
so round, so firm.
That's
so
Daffy. That's
so
not
fully
Bugs.
packed.
It wasn't Daffy either. It was,
who
it was
is
a
it?
character, some other character.
So round, so fine, so fully packed.
It sounds like one of those mice.
Well, it's Mel Blanc, really.
It's all,
yeah. All right. So anyway, there you go. Zaftig, your Z word of the day. Thanks.
It's a song.
What? So round,
So
so
round,
firm,
so firm, so fully packed by Ernest Tubb.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
It's just, I Googled it just for fun, and it's a song.
Well, let's get into the check-ins.
All right.
Let's see. We will begin with this is Jason.
Hey, Jason.
Hello.
Hello.
Jason, they've put your last name here as well. I wonder why they did that. You have any idea?
I have no idea.
All right.
Maybe it's because you guys completely fucking suck.
No, thank you very much.
Well, Jason.
Well, we have his last name.
That
Yeah, we
was
do.
really, really, really pleasant of you to say that.
And we have our number.
Yeah, we have your name and your number,
Oh,
Jason. You can, you'll be hearing from the authorities shortly.
The authorities.
Yeah.
Let me just say this to Jason. You know, it's real easy to sit there and snipe from the sidelines. We're up here. We're on the lines. All right.
We're on the front lines, baby.
You're just back there sniping. That's easy to do. Anyone can do that. Come in here 5 days a week and do this. Let's see, Dakota. Hi.
Hi, Dakota.
Good morning.
I thought it was going to be a girl.
Nope,
Oh.
just me.
Dakota, do you have any idea why your parents named you Dakota?
I do not, actually.
I'm always amazed at people that aren't curious about their own names or origins.
My guess is that they just thought it sounded cool.
Yeah, I think that'd be it, too. That's kind of the normal reason for someone picking a name, right?
Yeah. Well, not always, but So Dakota, what are you doing today? What's your agenda?
Currently, I'm on my way to a roofer safety meeting, and then to go home and spend time with my family while watching Rick and Morty.
You know what I think is really interesting about that is that Dakota is going to a roofer safety meeting, but he doesn't even work in that business. He's not a roofer. He just thinks it's very important for roofers to be safe.
No, that's what I do. Actually, I do every aspect of the company.
Oh, okay. You say what about the company?
Say that again?
Never mind, Dakota.
Thanks, Dakota.
Okay, thanks for checking in with us.
All right, thank you. Let's go to Mike. Mike?
Good morning, lords and ladies. And
Hi, Mike.
You know what? That first caller, what a wanker.
That's okay. You can say that. Yeah, wanker. I'll go with that. What are you doing today, Mike?
I am an electrician in this area. On my way back to work for the first time after a week and a half. I've been out with knee surgery.
Oh, geez. What kind of knee surgery did you have?
I had a meniscal repair.
Oh, did you have to bleep that too, Carrie?
Meniscal
Can
repair?
you say
that.
meniscal?
I'm quickly looking that word up to see if it's on the list.
They had to repair his meniscus. All right.
Correct.
Well, Mike, I'm glad you're back to work. Does it still hurt?
Thank you to modern medicine and current narcotics, no.
Oh, you mean they're prescribing? I didn't think they were prescribing them anymore.
You can't get it
anybody.
anymore. No, you can't get it anymore. He had to get it on the street.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. All right, let's see. We got
Vanessa checking in. It's parent-teacher conferences, so I could really use about 92% to make it through my 13-hour day. Thanks.
tech support Cindy. I've got nothing today but fever and cough.
Oh.
Can't even talk. I'll be streaming at home. Give 0%, please.
Okay, you got it.
Jonesy's homesick today, too.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Thanks for the Comic-Con tickets. My family really enjoyed it. You're welcome.
Well, you'll tell us more about that, Carrie, won't you, later?
So does the delay build back up, or is it gone for the day?
Well, with that particular word,
I've got to crank it up. I will be now hitting this rotator for an hour.
Yeah, the delay is a hand crank device, and Carrie has to go stand in the corner and crank it.
No, the delay works with multiple words in a multiple sentence. It's amazing. It's a bit of technology that it folds time and space.
So those of you who were listening online,
you heard
Jason, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, you heard everything.
What a joy he was.
Yeah, the online and the streaming and the chat rooms and the Radio from Hell TV, they heard that.
Jason, we would point out to you that we don't really mind negative calls.
Yeah.
No, we welcome them.
You just have to keep it within the boundaries. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you want to tell us that we suck, that's fine.
That's fine.
Just don't put that F word right in front of it.
I would like more details. I would like to know specifically what
I'd like to know
beef is.
Yeah. What his complaints are.
Well, I don't want to ever hear from him again.
Biles and Michaela in the morning check again.
Biles and Michaela?
Biles and Michaela.
It's another rival morning show.
Yep. Ogden Shut-In checking in. Steve the Pharmacy Man checking in. I need 90% due to it being Monday and feeling a little flu coming off.
Yeah, there's something going on. Jonesy all weekend, 102 fever. I'm going to take her to the doctor today. And
Andrew is here.
Hey, Andrew.
Hey.
What's going on with you, Andrew?
Just driving from Grantsville to Provo, going to work, coming through Eagle Mountain.
Oh, you go around that back way, huh?
Yeah, less traffic.
Yeah. What do you do in Provo?
Right now, we're just working at the new IHC hospital and installing a DAS system that's basically cell phone service for all carriers.
All right. Well, that's noble work.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for doing it.
Cool.
Thanks for checking in.
Thank you. Well, judging on that bat, we don't need to try hard today.
Good.
And
I'm not in the mood to.
Which is fine because I'm tired from Comic-Con.
And judging on that batch of calls, I don't think we should ever do this feature again.
All right. Let's get this over with. Coming up, Big Boy News, a Pinuendo, And Amy Donaldson has sports on the way. Stand by for that.
Amy's going to hang around for a little while, too. We'll do a little take a knee segment and talk about what's going on in the NFL and Donald Trump and all of that.
All right. So we'll do that coming up. Stand by. First, I've got to tell you about Alpine Plastic Surgery.
Oh, were the Alpine Plastic Surgery girls? I heard there was a troop of them at Comic-Con.
You know, I was so busy I didn't get a chance to see them. I was looking forward to it.
Well, were they cosplaying as plastic surgeons?
No, I think they were displaying the wares of Dr. Barnett.
Randall Barnett is a great plastic surgeon. And you can get a free consultation.
That's what you should do. You know, a lot of people that are thinking about getting plastic surgery have a lot of questions. And that's why Dr. Barnett has a free consultation available for you. You might not even know really what you want to do.
You probably don't.
You might think, well, I'm not happy with this here, and he will have...
Well, I put it over there then.
He can do that.
Yeah. There are a series of videos, apparently, of Dr. Barnett discussing procedures involved in a mummy makeover, you know, like a tummy tuck or breast surgery, body contouring and all of that. You can see those videos if you go to alpineplasticsurgery.com. The phone number to make an appointment for a consultation, 801-689-3500.
There's a power line down Redwood Road, Indiana Avenue in Salt Lake. That's at about 850 south. All four directions are being diverted. Nobody going straight through the intersection. So avoid that area. On-ramps to I-15 look pretty good so far. You'll be at full speeds on I-15 between Ogden and Provo, so no accidents to report. Unless you want to report one, and you do that by texting us 33986.
Keep the radio on. A 1 hour nonstop music wingding starts at 10. X96.
We found a pair, my wife found a pair, I should say, of clown shoes at the DI. A giant
Sad
pair.
dead clown.
That's immediately what I thought was dead clown.
How else do they end up
I
at
went
the
right to dead clown.
What's sad about a dead clown? I know that is a day of celebration.
Depends on where you find him.
Yeah.
If you find him in the forest, that's kind of sad.
It's a gigantic pair. I think they were, I'll take a picture of them and present them next week.
She bought them?
Yeah, for my kid. Giant pair of, they're plastic, but they're meant to be, you can wear them. A giant pair, and I think they're pastel, like baby blue clown shoes.
Is there a law that says clown shoes should always be red?
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
I thought.
they're red.
To
The
me
nose is red. The shoes are red.
It seems to me they were, yeah.
And was he excited about the clown shoes?
Thrilled.
Congressman Bozo would like to put forth the following law: that clown shoes will always be red.
You know, I proposed this many years ago. I think we should have a National Clown Day where everyone in the United States, by law, everyone, by law, is required to wear a clown costume. And I mean everyone, from the president to the members of Congress.
You wouldn't do that.
If it was a law,
you
would
have
stay
to.
home.
Police officer in your home, people could come and knock. Authorities would come and knock on your door, dressed as clowns, and say,
Clown check.
Are you? Yeah, exactly. Are you in there? If you're not dressed as a clown, you're going to clown jail.
You see, this is why Bill would be an excellent Republican. He fails to see the constitutionality, and that's why
the Constitution is suspended for
one day.
One day, maybe a week. A week.
What is the purpose of everybody being a clown?
It would humble all of us. It would humble all of us. We would all become clowns.
Why you won't do it?
I can see exactly.
I think National Clown Week,
Really?
and everyone has to dress as a clown for an entire week. You'd have to go to old folks' homes and dress the retirees and the shut-ins as clown. Even if it meant just as something as simple as just putting a nose on them.
Question.
Yes.
What about people in comas?
Yes.
Because they need to be humbled. If you've ever met a bunch of people that are up,
surgeons performing people performing surgery and the patients, everyone. All right. And now a surgeon, he couldn't wear the big dumb gloves, but he could maybe have to have a nose on under the mask. All of that.
All right.
I think I'm gonna. You elect me. You elect me the mayor of Salt Lake. I'll start it in Salt Lake. It'll be Salt Lake Clown Week, and everyone in Salt Lake will have to dress as a clown.
Now, luckily, I live in unincorporated Salt Lake, so
that's you'll be. But if you come into my city,
all right,
no clowning around.
Oh.
All right.
That's where the term clown fever will come from. People who are sick and won't come in. And sports right now, brought to you by
Strong Volkswagen of Salt Lake City. You get 100% lifetime powertrain coverage. Your factory powertrain warranty becomes a lifetime warranty online at strongvw.com.
News.
All right, Gina, we'll start the news with a story for you.
Appreciate it.
I know you like the crime stories.
I do.
The bloodier and the more violent, the better.
Give it to me.
An autopsy. Always a promising start, isn't it? An autopsy shows that a model, so an autopsy on a model.
Yes.
Even better, right? Who Los Angeles cops say was tortured and killed by her graphic novelist boyfriend.
Ooh. Sounds like a Ray Donovan episode.
Said she was scalped and had portions of her face torn off.
Yeah.
And had been drained of all her blood.
Ooh.
Ayanna Cassian, found dead at a West Hollywood apartment. Her boyfriend, Blake Leibel, L-E-I-B-E-L, Leibel, the son of wealthy Canadian real estate tycoon and Olympic sailor Lauren Leibel, has been charged with murder and could face the death penalty if convicted. He's pleaded not guilty. At least one of his novels, his graphic novels, has drawn unsettling parallels to the case. The book, called Syndrome, starts with, let's see if we can find that. Syndrome.
I'm looking at some of his comics.
Oh, you found some.
And he's
he's actually a thing? No,
he's semi-known, but his subject matter is disturbing stuff.
The book,
when you say graphic novel, you mean graphic?
As in comic.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's he's a graphic artist, and the book Syndrome starts with flashbacks of a serial killer slashing throats and draining blood.
There you go.
Detectives found Ms. Kazian lying next to her 2-month-old baby girl who was not hurt.
Really?
The autopsy report revealing the grisly details was released this week. Now this murder occurred last year, but this is things are slow coming out and the court process and all of that.
I hadn't heard of it. Yeah,
it says here, and it's not real. It's from Comic Vine, and they don't get into a lot of details. But it says Blake Leibel started his entertainment career working on Spaceballs for Mel Brooks, where he learned to direct animation and tell jokes. He then went on to work in video games.
Well, there you go. Anyway, so the trial's kind of just getting underway.
Yeah,
right now.
we get the details now.
And I guess they'll probably. I'll see if we can keep an eye on this story for you, and
If you could, please.
We'll follow it throughout the day. And now, weather. You see all the snow? Early season snow continued to fall around northern Utah late last night, and there have already been some seasonal road closures. Guardsman's Pass closed at about 2:30 p.m. yesterday, according to the Utah Department of Transportation. The pass was closed on both the east and west sides. Both State Route 190 and Route 224 were closed at the pass. Guardsman Pass will be closed I guess they're going to open it back up today.
Well, we're going to be back up into the 70s this week. So
UDOT reported just after 10 a.m. Sunday that a gate had been closed on State Route 224 just past Park City. And if you've seen pictures of Park City and Alta, a lot of snow, and it's wet, heavy snow. But most of that will probably, because the weather is going to warm
back up.
Most of that will probably, except for the highest mountain peaks. But it's a good start on the watershed. Let's see. University of Utah researchers have discovered how to reverse the cleft palate for mice still in utero. So this is really good because mice with cleft palates are shunned by other mice, and they have difficulty speaking. It's hard to understand. So if we can solve the problem of cleft palates in mice, we're really going on. This is obviously a story that's of great. The fact that they can do it in utero on mice, may have applications to humans, and you could do. I guess they know a baby's going to have a cleft palate before it's ever born, or often they do. They can
that's
tell.
part of what they're looking for in the ultrasound. Isn't just for fun to see what the sex of the baby is.
Now, can they see that in an ultrasound?
Yeah.
It's not a genetic marker or something. It's something.
Well, they can see it there too, but you can see it on an ultrasound.
So if that could be repaired or reversed in utero, that would be pretty amazing. Now we're not, Amy Donaldson's coming in a minute, so I don't want to get too much into Donald Trump and talking about his comments about the NFL yesterday. And in a way, I kind of don't like talking about it at all, because part of the reason he's doing this is to divert attention from two. He's going to get his ass handed to him. Donald Trump is in the Senate when they don't pass health care again.
Are they going to finally stop trying to?
I think they'll have no choice. There won't be any point in them trying to do something before the end of the year. That's for sure. So that's going to be, I think he's trying to divert attention. I would point out, and this is kind of lost in some of the sound and fury of Donald Trump and his comments about the NFL that we'll talk to Amy Donaldson about in a moment. But the Golden State Warriors, the champions of the NBA. It's been up and down and back and forth. Traditionally the championship teams in basketball, football,
hockey,
college, the NCAA champions, they traditionally go to the White House and meet the president, and everybody shakes hands and
it's a photo op.
Yeah, and they show the trophy and all of that. The Golden State Warriors, and particularly Steph Curry, have been saying, I don't know as we want to go. And Stephen Curry has been particularly outspoken about it, but their coach as well, Steve Kerr, also very outspoken about it. And so Donald Trump said, well, listen, that's fine. Well, I'm just disinviting you anyway. So don't even try to come. Don't even try to come. That's fine. If you suddenly decide you want to come, sorry, I'm not home.
You're not breaking up with me. I'm breaking up with you.
Yeah. And another little sidelight of all of this, Donald Trump was tweeting about it again this morning and doubling down on his NFL player comments. And one thing he's tweeting about is the low attendance rate so far in the NFL.
I wanted to bring that up.
And I just did.
Well, but I wanted to bring up a specific thing about it.
Well, the specific thing I'm bringing up about it is NFL attendance rates have been down since the start of this season, and they were They started that slide last season. I guarantee you, Donald Trump is going to try to take credit for that.
Can I tell you, it must already be happening in the conservative sphere, because my people that I am friends with on Facebook.
Why?
For this, so I can keep track of this kind of thing, are spreading around. This is how dumb they are. Pictures of the San Francisco 49ers game against the Seahawks, which I talked about last week, and how the
sparse.
$14 seats, and way before any of this, and them saying, see Colin Kaepernick, nobody wants to come see you play football. Colin Kaepernick hasn't played for the 49ers for a long time, but they're putting it out there because all of the pictures are of Colin Kaepernick in a 49ers uniform, kneeling, and then they put it next to a picture of an empty 49ers. They're making all these connections that are false connections.
Yep.
Authoritarian rule.
Yeah, and and Donald Trump will take
and they're
credit.
passing him around, going, "See."
I'm telling you, he's going to take credit for. When I started speaking out about this, people took my advice and started staying home from the games.
No, this has been happening.
Wrong.
Nonsense, absolute nonsense. And then this story: President Trump's son-in-law and close advisor, Jared Kushner, has used a private email account alongside his official White House account to exchange messages with other administrative officials, according to Politico. Lock him up. Lock him up.
Yeah, where's the...
Lock him up.
But Hillary's emails, she was using a private server.
Politico said the emails included correspondence about media coverage, event planning, and other subjects. Kushner's lawyer, Abby Powell, said Kushner complied with government record-keeping rules by forwarding all emails to his official account.
So did Hillary.
But that doesn't mean that the server he was using was
compromised.
Secure. It was unsecured, and he shouldn't be doing that. As Hillary should not have been doing it as well. Lock him up.
Hillary was told to do it by Colin Powell. Hillary, you really ought to get a private email server.
And so why did Hillary take advice from the man who said that there was
nuclear?
That's another. Look, this is yellow cake uranium right here. I got this from Iraq.
Another issue.
Why would she take advice from Colin Powell? Colin Powell said that. He said, no. And Donald Trump's made some more comments about the border wall.
Oh yes, I love these latest comments.
Yeah,
this is great.
President Trump's increasingly fantastical wall on the border with Mexico. It was going to be up to 65 feet tall
and see-through. You'd see through, so you can watch the drugs.
That's the latest.
That's the.
What
I was gonna build up to that, Gina.
What he's been saying that for a long time. That's not new.
That's the story.
That's the story.
But am I wrong that he...
Not that... He told attendees at a campaign rally in Huntsville, Alabama on Friday, if you can't have vision through it, you don't know who's on the other side. You need to have a great wall, but it has to be see-through.
He said that weeks ago.
She doesn't see this, does she, at all?
And then there's,
Didn't he say that weeks ago?
A complete wall. Well, maybe not, because mountains are like a wall, was the other thing he said. And then there's water that's like a wall. We don't need a wall there. But we'll make a wall. It's coming along very nicely. I'm looking at designs.
Do you think they just bring him designs just to keep him busy?
Look, we're working on it.
I don't know. I'd hate to speculate. Maybe somebody said something about it weeks ago.
He said the see-through thing weeks ago. That wasn't a new story. The mountain thing I haven't heard, but the see-through thing he said.
The mountain thing you haven't heard?
No.
Oh, he said that weeks ago, Gina.
All right, weather traffic.
Oh, weather, it's going to warm up. It's not winter
Hey, I heard it was
yet.
going to warm up. They were saying that earlier.
Weeks ago they said
that.
60 today and every day throughout the week. We'll be back up into the 70s by the weekend. It's pretty chilly right now, though. It's 39. It's cold now, but get up to 60 later today. Traffic, other than that issue on Redwood Road, things look pretty good. Redwood Road, Indiana Avenue, 850 South, all four directions being diverted. Brought to you by Sean Hogan and Everest Collision. They want you and your loved ones to get home safe and sound. Stop texting and driving. Download the Everest Collision app responsibly.
All right, thank you very much. Is sports sponsored?
It is. Brought to you by Strong Volkswagen of Salt Lake City. You get 100% lifetime powertrain coverage. Your factory powertrain warranty becomes a lifetime warranty online at strongvw.com.
Thank you.
Amy Donaldson Sports. Break.
Amy Donaldson, sports columnist for the Deseret News. You can read her stuff usually at Deseret News sports.com. She's also the co-host of a podcast called Voices of Reason, or Reasonable Voices, and I listened to the latest episode of that, and you should get a co-host who's not so argumentative. All he wants to do, all that guy wants to do is just argue with you all the time.
How do I get that?
Somebody that you
Why
want
don't you
to
try doing a podcast?
You can just come on my podcast, Gina. We'll have you. Yeah, I actually love doing it with Jason. We have but that's part of it, is that we disagree enough so that it's interesting.
Is it a sports podcast?
No.
Well, I was going to say with that title, that's not.
But I mean, he actually does some sports writing as well. But he's our business writer, and he actually was just assigned to cover the military.
Now, this last issue or edition of Voices of Reason, you discussed the NFL situation.
Yeah.
Which was kind of, I think, sort of ahead of its time, because I think you recorded that before Donald Trump made his comments
about 2 weeks
about
ago.
the NFL.
Yeah.
So, so check it out. It's called Voices of Reason, and you can hear them arguing about whether America is a great country or not.
Yeah, we got a little afield of our. We always have a plan, and then it goes according to plan about 50% of the time. So we like to have guests. We actually had some. The one we're going to drop, I think today we drop it, is on PTSD and programs and how veterans deal with PTSD and what it is, misperceptions.
So listen, why don't we talk about just what happened in sports yesterday,
So
or last couple of days, and then we'll talk more about other stuff.
Yeah, lots of sports. Utah beat Arizona 30-24, but possibly lose Tyler Huntley. I don't know for how long. After
Williams
the game.
looked pretty good, though.
There was mixed reviews for Williams. So I thought he came in and played. He did exactly what he needed to do. He looked great, especially he didn't even get the chance to warm up. They had to call a timeout. They didn't know Tyler was hurt. And he goes
went in and threw immediately.
And they won on the road at Arizona against a pretty athletic team. So the question is whether or not he's going to be out. We'll find out today at the noon press conference that you guys broadcast live on 700. But I'm sure they'll tell you. If they don't talk about it, that means he's going to come back sometime in the season. If they talk about what it is, then he is gone for the season. But they move up in both polls to number 19 in the coaches poll and number 23 in the AP poll. Next up, they have Stanford this Saturday. And then BYU had a bye week this week.
Thank God.
That's what their fans are saying.
God gave them a bye.
Yeah. And they had other news, Gina. The caffeine was made available on the BYU campus 2 weeks after the game, so that I didn't get any. But
I'm hoping God gives me a bye.
Let's see. They take on Utah State this weekend. Utah State dominated San Jose State 61-10. The fact that they beat them by a larger margin than Utah beat them has caused Utah State fans to trash talk.
We wore them down.
They trash talk the Utes, so that's been fun to watch.
What again?
We wore them down, so they were tired.
I see. Okay.
Oh, I actually thought you said we won down.
No.
So.
Yeah, I couldn't hear what she was saying because you were talking. So,
let's see. Weber State killed UC Davis 41-3. They're playing really well. Your Weber State is got some fun stuff going on. They play Montana State on Saturday. SUU lost to Sacramento State. They have a bye, and then they play Cal Poly. And then I believe the week after, in like 3 weeks, you should go to that rivalry game between Weber State and SUU.
Oh, well, yeah. That'd be. See? Is it at Wildcat Stadium?
I think it's in Ogden,
or whatever they call it now.
Yeah, it's probably his fancy name that I don't know. I never call anything by the right name. I call them all the Arena.
Yeah.
Snow College beat ASA Miami 58-36, and they have a bye, and then they take on Arizona Western. As we're going to talk about later, the NFL responds to President Trump's criticism, and hopefully we get both things. And this has been an ongoing thing, and I feel like it's been heating up for a bit. So that's one of the reasons we talked about it on our podcast a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
NFL scores: the Rams beat the 49ers, Bills beat the Broncos. That was really sad.
Why was that sad?
It's just
ongoing sad.
It's ongoing sad. It just didn't look good. Saints beat the Panthers. Eagles beat the Giants. That was a great game. The Chiefs beat the Chargers.
Once again, the Giants find a way to lose.
Oh.
And did you watch?
And
was it Odell Beckham?
That's Odell Beckham Jr. Yeah.
That's the big sports story that she was going to miss. But
I
was going to miss.
She's got it. Okay.
Yeah. What kind of an idiot is he? I happened to see this. I was watching the game and I saw him do this. Describe what Odell Beckham did.
Well, you saw it.
Well,
So
he scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
And then he got down on all fours and kind of started going on all fours and then raised his leg like he was a dog peeing.
Mm-hmm. He's marking his territory.
And
There he is. Yep.
And they gave him a flag.
He also did the raise one fist after scoring a touchdown. So he does. It's his thing, kind of like T.O.
He's an idiot.
He's a showman, Bill. He's putting on a show.
It's entertainment.
My nephews, I had to buy 2 Odell Beckham Jr. jerseys for Christmas last year for my nephews.
Really?
They're huge fans. Yeah, in Alaska, they live for and mostly because he has had some of the most spectacular catches you will ever see.
It was a great catch he made.
No, he's been practicing. They show him doing warm-ups. He's almost like a juggler. So that's his thing. He says he's a showman. Some people say he's just an idiot.
He's an idiot.
He got his team a penalty.
Yeah.
But again, I don't necessarily agree. I don't know about sometimes I think they're stupid.
I don't think it's the reason the Giants lost, but it didn't help.
No, that might be my Manning. My Eli Manning. So
you mean
it might be time for him to be.
You mean
I don't
don't
know.
tackle me? I'm Eli Manning. That guy.
He just always looks like he's on the verge of crying or whining, and I just want to say stop. Like at least look mad.
At least look mad.
Yeah, look like you're mad. The Chiefs beat the Chargers. Washington beat the Raiders. Seahawks beat the Titans. Packers beat the Bengals in overtime. Bears beat the Steelers in overtime, and the Jets beat the Dolphins.
The
Tonight,
Jets won a game?
They beat the Dolphins 20-6.
Wow.
And the Monday night game is Cowboys and the Cardinals. So we'll have more. It'll be interesting to see tonight what happens with the protests. And
well, you know, Jerry Jones has been very vocal about what he thinks should happen. We'll talk more about that.
And some of
after
the Jets actually told some reporters that they were pressured not to protest. So,
As did the Dallas players.
So,
they were told.
Yeah, and so we'll talk more about what each team did. The New York Times did kind of a roundup with pictures and comments. So Real Salt Lake, they beat Seattle 2-0. That victory moves them into 5th place. They are playing unbelievably well. So heading into the best part of the season. So we'll see what happens with them. Tony Finau, a West High product, he caps his season off with the tie for 7th at the Tour of Champions. Jazz training camp opens today. There will be a link on your site about storylines to watch. There's a lot that's different about the team, and it should be
a lot that's going to be different about the arena too.
Yeah,
I guess
everything.
It's open.
Yeah, yeah. The new arena will be there, and also I should note that the Jazz are selling jerseys to raise money for 8-year-old JP Gibson's cancer fight, and I think you can get those at the fan store, and I know you can get them at the first game, which I believe is October 18th.
Okay.
All right.
And Utah volleyball opens the season with 2 Pac-12 wins.
Okay.
But the big story, Tom Brady's new book.
I have no personality.
It's the TB12 method: how to achieve a lifetime of sustained peak performance.
He's had some really weird ideas.
Yeah.
The
one where he drinks like 2.5 quarts of water and
well,
doesn't
he
get
talks
sunburned.
about that.
That's what he talks about in the book, and you know why he does that? Prevents sunburn.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a lot of questionable science in this book.
It's magic water.
I don't think you should call that science, Gary.
He has this guru that he's worked with for years. This kind of health and diet and this private trainer guru guy.
Some of his advice, of course, avoid sugary foods and processed carbs.
Okay.
But then he goes on to warn about foods like strawberries, tomatoes, and salmon. He's never really clear why. But he says that you need to soak tomatoes for 2 to 6 hours. If you're
soak them,
soak them.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do that.
So they get more mushy.
I soak them.
But that's my favorite part: is 2.5 gallons of water a day to prevent sunburn.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, Amy.
Amy's going to hang around. We'll talk a little bit about, and if you want to weigh in on it yourself, you can. You can call us at 877-602-9696. Talk about the NFL protest and Donald Trump's comments about it.
New crash southbound I-15 27th South. It's off to the right shoulder. It's new crash and only crash so far this morning. Still dealing with that power line down Redwood Road, Indiana Avenue in Salt Lake. Going to check our message stream quickly. Heavy traffic between 41st South and the 201 Banter. Thank you to the friend of the program that sent that in. to 33986. Brought to you by Sean Hogan and Everest Collision. They want you and your loved ones to get home safe and sound. Stop texting and driving. Download the Everest Collision app responsibly.
All right, thank you very much. We'll take an E coming up after this. Let's see, KXRK Provo. Let's take care of that. Here we go.
3 bands.
I was thinking today how much just this moment of one of our interns, the organized intern, Sarah, and I was thinking, I wonder how much it would cost me to hire her
For what?
as my personal assistant.
Here we go.
What?
You need a personal assistant.
Sure, I'd love one. I would love one. I think a personal assistant would do a lot of good things for me.
Like what? Do you have dry cleaning that needs picking up?
Yes.
You have a hard time getting around to picking up your dry cleaning?
Sometimes, as a matter of fact, I do. I have any number of organizing things that need to be done all the time. I need. It would be very nice to have somebody to post a bunch of social media stuff for me. At my direction, but actually do the work of it. It would be very nice to have somebody I could call up and say, I don't have time to go to the grocery store. I'm forwarding you my list. Please send it. Please do it. See, she's not. You know what I mean. There's any number of things.
You want to go to the store for Bill?
And she would love to. She would love to do it. She's nodding right now. But A, I don't know as I could really afford her, and B, I like her, and so I'm not sure that I want her to be on the receiving end of me saying, "What do you mean you didn't?"
Yeah,
things like that.
You would end up yelling at her.
Well, we have to break here. But speaking as someone who has an assistant,
what do you need an assistant for?
Here
we go.
I feel bad having her do things.
That's what I'm saying.
And so I'm not utilizing her enough.
You pay her?
I do.
Then don't feel bad.
That
unless she's the sort of person who goes, okay, I'll get right on that.
Mr. Jackson.
Yes, if it's that sort of thing, then I need a different assistant. So see, Sarah would go, that's right.
See,
Chief. As a matter of fact, I would insist. I'm paying you. Say right, Chief, after everything I say.
What I need is a personal assistant that I don't like.
Yeah,
that's what I need.
How do you find that?
That's the problem I think I would run into. I like Sarah
because my assistant Nicole, I like her. Yeah. I like Sarah. There's no way that I could put her to work as I need. It just. Anyway.
I could. I just wouldn't want to yell at her.
Yeah. And you would.
Maybe.
Eventually.
Maybe.
All right, let's get this over
Chief.
with.
That's what Sarah, would you mind when you're here just saying right, Chief, when I ask you to do stuff? Just for fun?
Coach Bill.
Don't you know who I am?
Radio from Hell on X96.
All right.
So I thought we'd talk. We thought we'd talk a little bit more about the NFL situation and Donald Trump to a crowd in Tennessee. He was down there to support.
I think it was Alabama.
Is it Alabama?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. It's Alabama where Jeff Sessions, the seat that Jeff Sessions vacated. There's a runoff election between Roy Moore, former Alabama Supreme Court justice, who's been thrown off the bench twice. He was the guy with the Ten Commandments monuments and so forth, and he's running against a guy named Luther Strange, or as Donald Trump calls him, Big Luther.
Big Luther.
He's like 6'9".
He has a nickname. That means he's important.
He's 6'9". So Trump is talking to this crowd in Alabama, and it's another one of his campaign-style rallies. And by the way, that's the other thing I think he's trying to divert attention from. The fact that Luther Strange is probably going to lose. Trump's down there supporting Strange, and if he loses, it's a loss for Trump. But he starts talking about the NFL and players taking a knee during the national anthem rather than standing there with their hands over their hearts. And he says the NFL owners should throw those, and they wouldn't say this on NPR yesterday. I don't know why. They would not say the word "sons of bitches."
I don't know. I couldn't put the B word in my story.
You couldn't.
So,
Well, in the Deseret News. But,
yeah.
But I think we can.
I mean, if you say "son of a," I'm pretty sure most people know what that
son of a bee
can fill in the blank.
He said so. They should throw those sons of bitches off the team.
Again, the point is things our president's saying we can't repeat.
And he also said that the owners should fire them. The ones who take a knee who protest. And he said people should stay home from the games. Don't go to the games. Don't watch them.
Bad ratings.
Yeah. Now, this all stems from one guy, Colin Kaepernick, who's not even playing right now, who took a knee. He said he wanted to draw attention to Black Lives Matter and how black people are treated in America.
A year ago.
Donald Trump has turned this into an entirely different thing.
Yeah.
And I don't get it.
Well, because I think now he's made it. He's done a few things. So there's a few converging issues, but he's made it a free speech issue. So I think it always was a bit of a free speech issue, because one of the rights you have in this country is to peacefully protest and ask for the government to address your grievances, which is what he and those players who were taking a knee. And actually, I should note that this started in the WNBA. The WNBA players were actually protesting all of this, and they wore Black Lives Matter T-shirts. They got fined. So when a WNBA player gets fined, they probably make $100,000 or less. So they get fined $5,000. It hurts a lot more than these guys that make millions of dollars. But they started it. They were protesting these things, trying to draw attention to it. And I think that the conversation around that and whether or not people should be using their platform, whether they're movie stars or athletes, to address what they see as political issues, which I should say these guys see as human rights issues.
Yes.
So you can say it's politics, but when it's a matter of me feeling unsafe in a situation, then it's not really politics to me anymore. So he does it on the 26th. He just sits down for the anthem, and the next week Kaepernick and a couple other players. I think one of them was actually an injured reserve. They took a knee, and that sort of began this chain reaction. You saw Megan Rapinoe from the national women's soccer team.
But there weren't that many people doing it until Donald Trump. By the way, if you guys want to comment on this, call 877.
You could probably. You're right. Sorry.
Call 8. God, would people just 877-602-9696. Now, speak.
I was just going to say, you probably could have named all the players from each team that were doing it before this. And then he says these things. And I think that calling them names and saying that they ought to be fired offended people who, number one, believe in the right to free speech. Alex Smith spoke out. Alex Smith has not spoken out on this issue.
Alex Smith has never spoken out on anything.
No, and he said, I'd rather not put myself in this position. But, and I know the league is not perfect. I guess one of my first thoughts was, after I saw the outrage, was, where was all this outrage when guys were knocking their wives out and dragging them from an elevator unconscious?
Who's the player? Is that the
Ray
player?
Rice.
No, the player you mentioned in your podcast Hardy?
Greg Hardy, yeah.
Greg Hardy. You said Google him, you wouldn't believe what he's done.
Yeah, and that's the guy Jerry Jones signed. So he gets released from the 49ers because he has a couple of domestic violence, and he got convicted of just horrific violence against his girlfriend.
Yeah, Jerry Jones is okay with that, but but Jerry Jones has said if any of my players take a knee tonight, they're. I don't think he said I'll fire him, but he said.
I think he did. Not this most recent, but he has said, if
there
you
was
play.
there was a Dallas player who spoke to a reporter who said that we have been told that, I'm not telling you can't, but if you do, you're on the S list.
But there were owners who sided with the players. Apparently, he's a friend of Trump's, Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots. He sided with the players and said,
a lot of the owners came out with their players linked arms. You saw guys that have not enjoyed any love from the fans at all, like Dan Snyder of the Washington Redskins. He's out there locked arms with his players. So what I thought was interesting was this en masse. So I thought Saturday night I was waiting to see, and I think everyone was everyone going to take a knee? Was no one going to take a knee? What was it going to be? And almost every team showed some kind of solidarity.
Some teams just didn't come out of the locker room, so it wasn't obvious who was standing and who wasn't.
There was, I think, 3 teams ended up not coming
out. And regarding that, staying in the locker room, didn't that used to be the way with the NFL until some time ago that they all started coming out for the national anthem?
I've got a story about that.
Somebody said that in the 90s, the NFL, the military organizations came to the NFL and said, it'll help us with recruitment if you guys will participate.
Let's go to line 1. Somebody wants to mention this. Tawny is on line 1.
Hello, Tawny.
Hi, Tawny. Did you have a comment about this?
Hi, I do. Yeah. I think it's okay for these athletes and these celebrities to be role models and to use their platform for what they believe in. But I think that protesting during the only 3 minutes that we honor the people who died for us is ridiculous.
But there are vets online who are saying that, no, I fought for your right to protest.
To do that
as well. And,
They should have the right to protest. Absolutely. That is what our country is based on. But why use those 3 minutes? Why couldn't they use time on their own?
Because they want to
during the game, walk off the field during the game. That's fine.
Because they want to draw attention to the issue, and if they do it another 3 minutes, you're not paying attention. They don't get that.
Steve Mnuchin said, I think that they should protest. That's fine. They should do it on their own time. Well, if they do it on their own time, nobody's going to see it. This is the most visible moment to do it.
So protest between 9 and 5. I can't do that, I guess.
That's
the game. Walk off during the game. That's totally fine. You might not get your paycheck, but it would make a statement.
Tawny, let me just say this. I think that I disagree with you because this is the perfect time for them to do it. I also understand that you and other people will be very upset by it. I understand that. That's part of the reason they're doing it. Maybe not to necessarily upset you, but it's just they know it is the most perfect time to do it.
And the other thing that you said is about athletes, and I've heard this said about celebrities. They should stick to their own business and stay out of politics. Hey, guess what? They're Americans first, all right? They have every right to weigh in on politics because they are Americans first. So don't give me this athletes and celebrities should shut up thing.
Well, and these are black men.
No, and I didn't say that. I didn't say they should shut up. No, I definitely think that they should use their platform. Okay. I just think they could pick a better time.
Okay. I think it's the perfect time.
Yeah.
because they wanted to start a conversation.
Yeah. Exactly.
I understand what you mean, though, Tony.
All right, Tony.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right.
Well, and then for Donald Trump to say, people called him out and said, you've made this also, now you've made this a racial thing. And he said, no, this isn't race at all. I'm not, it is just on the face of it. It is.
But it was a racial protest from the beginning. Yeah. It was protesting the way some people of color, are treated in America. That was what the protest was. It was saying they were protesting how black men mostly, but there's a black child, a 12-year-old kid who was killed in a police shooting, how they are treated by the criminal justice system and especially by police officers.
70% of the NFL players are of color.
And before Donald Trump's statement, not a single white player had joined them.
Exactly.
So now you had your first Major League Baseball player, we should note,
Right, I saw
a
that.
kid who's born on a military base as a military kid.
You know, we talk about a good deal of some of this stuff, too, with really a guy who's very smart about it, Dr. Paul White, up at the University of Utah. The current episode of the Let's Go Eat show is a discussion with Paul White and I and Dylan talking about it, about things like this. And
yeah, we talked to Paul, too, on our podcast a few weeks ago, but about racism versus bias versus prejudice and how the precision language is important. But I think the important thing about this to remember is who gets to decide when is a good time for you to protest. If a black man can't kneel down during the national anthem and peacefully draw attention to an issue that involves his life, right? Then when can you? And who gets to decide that? And then when you get to protest, do I get to tell you when a convenient time for me is?
Yeah.
If your protest offends me, do I get to dictate to you how it happens?
It was interesting. A lot of them knelt and put their hands over their hearts too.
Yeah, because you're conflicted. I mean, I think that those who've been interviewed about that say, I don't hate my country. I love my country. I want you to pay attention to what I feel is happening to me as a citizen of this country.
All right.
Thanks, Amy Donaldson.
Thank you, Amy. Gina.
We have congestion. Southbound I-15 exit 295, that's 90th south. Crash northbound I-15 85th south off to the right shoulder. Crash eastbound 15th west, that's Riverdale Road and Weber. Our two right lanes are closed there. Let's see, and our attorney and your husband says it's foggy out on the Legacy, so be aware of that.
Your husband also points out that the owner of the New York Jets is Trump's ambassador to England.
Yeah, so there's an acting owner there.
Yeah.
So.
Brought to you by Snowbird. Escape for the whole weekend with the Oktoberfest getaway package, including lodging, daily breakfast, all-day activity pass from $105 per person per night. Get all the details at snowbird.com.
All right, thank you very much. Do we have boners?
Yes, we do. Here are the boner candidates coming up in round one. Number one, they will throw the book at him. The Book of Mormon, that is. Boner candidate number two, we saw it as a business opportunity. And number three, tally-ho, dude. Some help, please.
Boners round one and big boy news all coming up after these.
3 days of live
Recently on the Rachel Ray Show, she was promoting her new fragrance, which she calls Fancy. It's $85. She sprayed some in the air and then started naming all the benefits. The main one was that it allows you to fart and nobody can smell it.
That's a selling point.
That's what she said. She said if you're in an elevator and you're wearing this perfume.
She's a classy one.
Do they have a guy's version? Because, boy, I tell you, I'm holding...
You want to wear something called Fancy?
I'm holding one back right now, and I don't want to...
Go ahead.
I don't want to hurt you guys.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No.
Go on.
Why?
Do it.
Go
do
outside.
It. Come on, chicken. Come on, do it.
Don't.
Do it.
Not chicken. I'm just not sure you really want
Do it.
Why do you want him to do that?
Do it. I don't believe him. I don't believe he's holding one.
I believe he always has one ready.
And I don't believe...
I believe he
Just put the microphone down.
Don't do it. I'll leave the room.
And I don't believe it's going to be as bad as you say.
Jeez. What, you weren't serious?
That's the lowest we have ever sung on the radio.
And I didn't even go all the way.
Oh, man.
There's more.
That's dangerous. Yeah, he did. I made him. I made him.
You know how I am with peer pressure. Here, Carrie, have a drink. Here, Carrie, fart. You know, pull my finger. Listen, it started when I was a kid. It started when I was a kid. My dad used to make me pull his finger.
He did. I don't smell anything. Seems fine.
It'll circulate.
Will it?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we better take a break.
I haven't been eating much meat lately, so.
Oh, geez. Well,
you know.
You know, for someone that just tuned into this show for the first time,
I know
just
they
now,
we don't usually do that.
We've lost them forever.
Usually,
really?
You know, we're.
Do you think you don't think that they could forgive us just this one?
I can't forgive you.
Now, long-time listeners of the Radio from Hell show, if you'd like to call us now.
Listen, I was goaded into it.
I did.
hope
I
you're
pushed
both
him.
happy.
He was calling me names. He was pointing at me.
I pushed him. It's a good thing there wasn't a cliff.
I'm glad we don't have a sponsor for the boner right now.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we'll ever have
Nope.
one either after that. Oh, my God.
He made me. All right. Uh-oh.
Weather?
Somebody just texted and says, well, that's why you guys have a new three-year contract.
And Sue just texted in, I am so proud to be your wife
Your bags
right now.
are on the porch.
I also just got a texter that says, I can smell it from here.
It really is bad.
Is it?
Well, I've been holding it all morning. I haven't had a chance to leave.
I know what that's like.
I figured I'd be fine until, at 10.
Yeah.
It really started to kink up, and then you talked about that perfume.
Oh, God, I can't believe you did that.
Now, listen, how do you guys know it wasn't just a recording
It
of a
wasn't.
fart?
He put the
Shut
microphone
up.
down.
Shut up. It could have just been a recording of a fart. You don't know.
You don't, but I'm here to tell you it wasn't.
Well, see, these guys are selling it. They're acting.
Nope. That was real.
Oh, man.
Great.
Oh, wait a minute.
Huh?
Wait a minute.
Oh.
Don't.
Yeah, it was real.
Told you.
Yeah.
Thought you were gonna do it
No.
too.
No.
All right.
I don't have one, or I might.
Is it like yawning? It just, when somebody does it, everybody
It's
just
contagious.
No.
just
I
jumps
got.
in and...
No.
Okay. All right.
.96. Oh, and on Twitter. Follow us at Radio from Hell.
Oh, all right. Let's see. It's 7:21 right now. Time for round one of your boner voting. These are 3 news stories that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. Boner means mistake. We'll give you 2 candidates now, then a 3rd candidate after the news. And once you've heard all 3, you've got to decide which of these 3 candidates, which one, deserves to go forward to Boner Dome for Boner Fight and possibly become Boner of the Day. All right, so we'll give you 2 now, 1 after the news. And one of you lucky random boner voters will receive something nice.
Well, tickets to that long-standing tradition of seeing Cake live at the Eccles, Wednesday, October 4th, downtown Salt Lake. Tickets are on sale at liveattheeccles.com and Eccles Theater box office.
All right.
Here's boner candidate number 1. Oh, you'll have to forgive me. This story is like 3 days old. Gina sent it to me, and I decided I would save it for the boner candidates.
It's a good story
today, but you may already have heard it because it's 3 days old. But they will throw the book at him, the Book of Mormon, that is. A man who was arrested for trashing a Smith's grocery store on Tuesday, I guess, of last week, was caught because of an item he left behind. Police say that the 49-year-old man, Kevin Morris, had already trespassed at this Smith's on Freedom Boulevard last year. I guess he has a thing against this Smith's.
He has it out for Smith's.
Or this particular one. Sergeant Brian Taylor of the Provo Police Department said that on Tuesday afternoon, he came back and allegedly vandalized an employees-only area before escaping through an alarmed door. We quickly realized, with the help of store management, that the individual had badly damaged an employee break room. He smashed out ceiling tiles and cost $4,000 to $5,000 worth of damage. Store employees were able to identify Mr. Morris through surveillance video and by what he left behind. A copy of the Book of Mormon with his name in it.
Because all good Mormons have their own copy with their name.
Well, you do.
Isn't that a standard gift that your grandma gives you?
You get the triple combination usually with your name embossed.
I have a triple combo with my name embossed in gold on the front of it.
Mine's, I don't know where.
Would you leave it at the scene of a crime, Kerry?
If the crime is my father's house, yeah. It's there somewhere.
Store managers found the Book of Mormon in the break room, found it inscribed with that suspect's name, and returned it to the police. It just seems that Mr. Morris dropped or left a book that had been inscribed as a gift to him at some point. Probably from his grandparents when he graduated from seminary. Now they're throwing the book at him. Mr. Morris faces charges of burglary, criminal trespass, and criminal mischief. They say that they're concerned about this guy. He's not well.
Mm-hmm.
He suffers from paranoia, and his mental health is deteriorating. Oh, and he admits to using a lot of meth.
Well,
boner candidate number 1, they'll throw the book at him. The Book of Mormon, that is. Boner candidate number 2, we saw this as a business opportunity. A group of Mississippi inmates busted out of jail this week. They burglarized a store, a bargain store, like at the dollar store, and then broke back into jail and returned to their cells, and then started selling the stuff that they had stolen from the convenience store.
That's a lot of stuff.
X96.com/live has a picture of the haul.
Yeah, they say this is all the stuff they stole, and then they they got it all at the dollar store. Then they marked it way up because you can't get that stuff in prison.
Jeez.
Rather than extend their newfound freedom, the foursome inexplicably snuck back into the jail. The police said, "Well, you're already in jail. You want to break out and then break back in?
Well,
this is something I never heard of."
This is like that Logan Lucky movie. They do that in...
Oh, do they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because their sentence is almost up. So they don't want to break out and then get caught and then get sent back. If their sentence is up in a month, they can break back in, just wait it out another month, and then they're out free.
But what? Oh, okay, whatever. Boner candidate makes as
it
much
makes sense in the movie.
It doesn't make any sense here. Boner candidate number 2. We saw it as a business opportunity. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3. Tally-ho, dude. Some help, please.
All right. Boner candidate number 3. Right after this here, Big Boy News and Opinioendo, brought to you by
Hoops Vision. Call today for your free LASIK consultation. It's your life. See it better. Take control. Make the call. 877-30-LASIK or go to hoopsvision.com.
All right, a story for you, Gina.
I don't deserve it.
Even though you pissed me off earlier, I'm still going to give you a story here. Rachel Myrick's first thought as she walked through the entrance of the Longhorn Steakhouse and felt a sharp pain in her left foot was that she'd been stung by a bee, maybe a hornet. She tried to brush it off, keep going, but said that she felt such an excruciating pain as she took the next step. She dropped her cell phone, she dropped her wallet, and she dropped her 13-year-old son Dylan's hand. He's been holding his hand. I had my fingers under my foot, and that's when I felt something moving, said Myrick. She had been bitten twice on her toes and once on the side of her foot by an 8-inch long copperhead snake.
Oh, inside the restaurant?
That had managed to get into the restaurant's foyer. It was still attached to her sandal-shod foot until she shook it loose. I freaked out, said Myrick.
Yeah.
I got bit. Myrick had gone to the restaurant for dinner with her son. That's usually why you go to a restaurant.
I'm glad they pointed
for dinner.
That out.
She'd gone there
it
for
could
dinner.
Have been for lunch.
Well, or it could have been to apply for a job.
Oh, boy.
And she was with also her boyfriend, Michael Clem, and some of Clem's friends and family. Clem said he looked around for a bee when Myrick first started screaming and crying, and then he spotted the copperhead.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I've bred and raised reptiles for 15 years, said Mr. Clem. There's no question. That's a copperhead.
That's more reasons I don't go to Texas.
Yeah. She'll be okay. going to be. They're pretty poisonous though.
Oh yeah.
Copperheads. Not as bad as cottonmouth, but pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking about the NFL and the players taking a knee or not taking a knee, and Kerry mentioned this story. I got the details here.
Yes.
Who's ready for a fun fact anyway? A lot has been made of Colin Kaepernick and the other NFL players' decision to protest during, it says here, protest the national anthem.
That's not. That's not what it is.
Don't turn it into that.
That's like saying Rosa Parks sitting on the bus is protesting, transportation.
Bad bus service.
Yeah, that's not what
it's about.
They're not protesting the national anthem, but it is a protest that takes place during the national anthem.
Yes, don't let writers get away with that.
Yeah, this is somebody writing on something called the Daily Snark.
No, great. That's a fun news source.
I don't think the person meant it that way. Anyway. Until 2009, no NFL player ever stood during the national anthem.
Exactly.
No NFL player stood for the national anthem until 2009. Before then, the players just stayed in the locker room as the anthem was played. NFL teams got patriotic in recent years because, well, patriotism is good for business. A 2015 congressional report revealed that the Department of Defense had paid $5.4 million to NFL teams between 2011 and 2014 to stage on-field patriotic ceremonies.
Mm-hmm.
The National Guard shelled out $6.7 million for similar displays between 2013 and 2015. Paid patriotism is what it's being called.
Yep.
Last May, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell returned more than $700,000 of taxpayer money that was to teams for sponsored military tributes. So Goodell said, we're going to end this practice. Here's the money back.
Yep.
Goodell wrote a letter to Senator Jeff Flake and John McCain, which was disclosed to the public last May. Goodell said that following an audited review of 100 marketing agreements, all 32 NFL teams, that's the amount, $700,223 for acts of sponsored patriotism. Mm-hmm. So they kind of did an audit. Mm-hmm. They said that's the amount in total, and here we're giving it back to the federal government.
And did they say why?
Why what?
Why they were giving it back?
Because it's paid patriotism. It's
not genuine patriotism.
Yeah, I mean it's that puts a kind of a tarnish on it, really. Now, they've continued to do. To do it because it's become kind of a tradition. Mm-hmm. So they've continued to do the national anthem and that sort of thing, but they don't get paid for it anymore. So,
and like the flyovers are we're all part of that. Yeah. The jet flyovers, all that stuff.
Presumably, these are more genuine now.
And someone just texted me, and I'm like, yeah, you don't dare bitch about somebody not standing for the national anthem if you're sitting and watching at home and not standing for the national anthem.
Nobody stands up at home for the national anthem.
I just make sure I don't turn on the TV until it's
after
over.
The game has started. Yeah.
The U.S. Department of Justice has called it by far the most significantly growing threat to children. And based on recent investigations, the issue of sextortion isn't slowing down, including in Utah. Sextortion is a form of online blackmail, typically targeting teenagers or preteens. The average sextortion case starts with children who are 12 to 14 years old who are using social media and other apps to message others who they assume are also kids, said Steve Kagan, head of U.S. Homeland Security investigations in Utah and 3 other states. Eventually, the other juvenile will gain, the other kid that's not really a kid, will gain the teen's trust and request a nude photo. But they're talking to a 40-year-old or a 50-year-old man who, once they have one photo, will extort them for more. If you don't want me
to show this to people, if you don't,
if you don't want this, you got to send me more. It's called sextortion. It's happening a lot. And basically, the point of this story is talk to your kids about it. They say, first of all, I mean, if you're a 14-year-old kid, should you have a smartphone? I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't think so.
Maybe not.
I don't think you should get a smartphone until you're older. You should just have a dumb phone.
But nonetheless, talk to kids about it and make sure that they don't fall victim to it. because it's a really a mean, ugly thing to do to a kid. 60-year-old man in Salt Lake has died from injuries after he was hit by a car and then dragged for a block.
Jeez.
Brian Lorkey of the Unified Police Department says that just before 10:30 p.m., this is in West Valley, an elderly man, hit by a car while crossing the street. The driver of the car, a young female, initially stopped, but then ultimately left the scene. The car involved in the accident, described as a white Chevy Malibu. I don't know if they've caught him yet as of this writing on Channel 2's website. They hadn't caught whoever did it, but the poor guy was dragged for a block.
Yes.
Let's see. Jenny Wilson, daughter of Ted Wilson.
Yes.
Very popular former Salt Lake City mayor.
Yes.
She has announced that she's going to run for the Senate against Orrin Hatch.
Oh, there she is.
Or
against Orrin?
Or Mitt Romney, or
whoever the Republican candidate. Really? Okay.
X96.com/live. You can see a picture of Jenny, and is that Orrin Hatch standing next to her? No, wait, that's her son. Wilson is 51, a Democrat, obviously. Announced in July she would be running, and as far as she knows, she's running against Hatch at this point. As she said, after spending 40 years in the Senate, Senator Hatch has seen a lot. Once upon a time, he was one of those willing to work with both parties to get things done. That really does seem like a fairy tale now, she said. Doesn't happen anymore.
Good luck, Jenny.
Yeah.
Hatch is 83. He's indicated that he probably will run for an 8th term. So I don't know,
thinks he's going to, huh?
Yeah, he's pretty much said, my health is good. I feel good. There's no reason. Now, he said, if my health changes before it's time to run, I'll let you know. But
How much time do we have before he has to decide? Do we know?
Well,
isn't it next year?
Next year?
Yeah.
Mitt.
You think Mitt will step in?
Well, if
people want him to.
Because I don't think that people want Orrin to run again.
I think
they want Mitt.
I think it's great if he does, because she would have a better chance against
Orrin. Against Mitt, she wouldn't.
All right. Well, yeah. Okay. Go, Orrin. Go.
Yeah, we want Orrin to run.
Go.
The last Saw movie.
Yes.
I see Saw.
Released by Lionsgate in 2010, was advertised as the final chapter.
Yes.
Did they lie?
Kind of.
Well, I mean,
it depends on your definition.
This franchise has made so much money. You know, of course, it's going to come back.
They're going to go back to that cow again.
In true horror film fashion, the series will resume its torture killings on October 27th with an R-rated 8th installment called Jigsaw.
Yes.
Is it a backstory?
This is what's really interesting about this story. Okay. Less expected, Lionsgate decision to promote Jigsaw by shaking an angry fist at America's blood donation regulations. On Sunday, the studio's chief brand officer, Tim Palin, began rolling out an online ad campaign called All Types Welcome. The campaign has 8 social media stars with large gay, bisexual, and transgender fan bases, including Sean Ross, an openly gay model, and Amanda Lepore, the transgender nightlife diva, dressed as off-kilter nurses and encouraging people to donate blood in preparation for Jigsaw. Because there's going to be a lot of blood lost in Jigsaw, please donate blood. But the point of all of this is to protest regulations that say that people who are transgender and gay can't give blood.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's a protest. And he's launching I think it's a brilliant idea. It's something that if you go to x96.com/live, you can see 3 examples of these ads that they're doing. It's really brilliant because it's obviously a cause that he feels strongly about, and it's going to do a lot of good for his movie to do this.
It'll get passed around social media.
And here we are talking about it, giving him a lot of free advertising for Jigsaw. All types welcoming condemnation of blood donation rules set by the Food and Drug Administration that prohibit most gay or bisexual men from giving blood. Before donating, they have to forego same-sex encounters for at least a year. and also go through tests and so forth. So, all right.
Let's see, weather traffic.
Yeah, it's chilly right now, 39, but we'll get up to 60. And as the week goes on, we'll be back up in the 70s. It's not winter yet. Don't despair.
Don't panic.
Okay. No.
Don't be a moon calf. Don't be a fuddy-duddy. All right.
Traffic crashed northbound I-15 at 111th South in Salt Lake. Some congestion southbound I-15 90th South. Crash northbound I-15 85th South off to the right shoulder. Crash eastbound 1500 West at Riverdale Road in Weber County. 2 right lanes are being affected there. We check our message stream and see if anybody sent us anything there, because you friends of the program are so nice when you tell us what's happening out on the road. You text it at 33986. Brought to you by save 30% off a new 2017 Chevy Silverado, Malibu, or Cruise at Utah's #1 selling Chevy dealer, Riverton Chevy. Go to rivertonchevy.com.
All right.
Here's boner candidate number 3. Tally-ho, dude. Some help, please. A group incapable of walking after smoking a whole lot of pot had to be rescued from England's highest mountain.
That's really high.
The 4 climbers, and England's highest mountain, by the way.
Not very high.
Not very high.
Not very
It's
high.
a hill, really.
The 4 climbers sparked a 3-hour mountain rescue after getting stuck on Scafell Pike in Cumbria's Lake District yesterday afternoon. Cumbria police said, words fail us. After mountain rescue, air support, and ambulance crews had to be dispatched to the 978-meter, that's 3,209-foot peak, when the walkers got a lot higher than they expected. Police received an emergency call from the incapacitated group, who said that they were stuck on the mountain after smoking copious amounts of marijuana. Now having to deploy mountain rescue, air support, and ambulance to rescue them, Cumbria police posted. Persons rescued after becoming incapable of walking due to cannabis use.
That's really high.
They got up there. They fired it up.
Uh-oh, now we're stuck.
They got so high, they said,
up here in the thin air.
Tally-ho! Dude! Help, please. Boner candidate number 3.
Let's review the first 2 and vote.
We had boner candidate number 1. They will throw the book at him. The Book of Mormon, that is. It's a man who committed a crime. He vandalized a Smith's Marketplace employee break room, $5,000 worth of damage. He left behind his Book of Mormon inscribed with his name at the scene, and that's police have been able to find him. Boner candidate number 2, well, we saw it as a business opportunity. 4 Mississippi inmates breaking out of jail, robbing a dollar store, and sneaking back into jail to sell the stolen items. And boner candidate number 3, tally-ho, dude. Oh, some help, please.
Or as Brett calls that one, the hills are alive, and it's freaking me out.
Yeah, I like that.
Let's get to voting. Here we go. Let's see. We got 3 candidates for you to choose from. Which one of these 3 is the worst? Which one of these 3 deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day? This win doesn't mean it's boner of the day. It's got to go up against the winner of round 2. That happens next hour. All right. Decide 1, 2, or 3, the candidate you think should win. Put that number of the candidate in the message of a text. Text that to 33986. A lot of people vote that way. A lot of people like to go online and vote. X96.com. Just look for the box that says Round 1, September 26, and vote there. If you don't see that box, refresh. It should appear. And a few people still use their phones for their original purpose. Call 877-602-9696. Try that. Use your voice. All right, you've got, less than 300 seconds to vote for round 1 of the boner voting. Let's go.
You know who's on the line?
Who?
I believe this is the impetus to the first all-day show.
Candace.
Candace?
Yes.
How now, you were there for the first all-day show. Oh, yeah.
I was, as Carrie said, I was the something from the radio gods, the idiot or something.
No,
Not so much. He didn't really
the
say
gift from the radio gods.
That was it, yeah.
But
And I was the one that brought the alcohol.
You are the first. You were the one who started the tradition of bringing us booze.
Exactly. And I'm so upset. Y'all got pedicures and I didn't.
Well,
I would have liked one.
Well,
you should have asked.
Well, I was in and out of the house all day.
Candy Bear.
Well, then you couldn't.
Then you couldn't have gotten one anyway.
Candy Bear. I'm not sure what.
Not. Did you say Candy Bear or
Yeah,
Daddy Bear?
Candy Bear.
Oh, that's cute.
You're
Better
my-
than Candy Ass.
You're my little Candy Bear.
Who is this?
Don't you know?
Who
No, I don't know.
Who is this?
It's your mother.
I think
Hi.
Candy's been
Candy?
drinking today already.
Candy, hi, it's Mitt
No,
Candy, hi,
I
it's Mitt
haven't.
Romney.
Candace,
Ew.
do you have any idea what you're listening to or where you are?
It's a country station, and I'm in Texas. No, of course I do, you silly gooses.
Candy?
That was ridiculous.
Candy Bear?
Don't call me Candy, please. My dad hated that.
It's Candace.
It's Candace, Carrie.
Yes, it's Candace.
If
Phil,
your dad
and I
hated
will-
that, he shouldn't have named you Candace.
Yeah.
He's no longer living. That's rude.
Well, I'm sure his feelings are hurt.
Did you call us Candace?
Yes, I did, and I meant to get abused.
Okay, because I thought maybe the interns had called you and then
No, nobody
just picked your name
remembers.
out of a phone book or something. Nobody
You
remembers.
wish.
Nobody remembers what, Candace?
Any of this.
Any of.
And I'm even on the CD, and I'm so sad.
She's the phone call. She's the reason.
She's the reason that we did because I didn't get a chance to
Yeah.
tell my Hawaii story.
No,
And-
it
or
was your Vegas.
My Vegas story.
Vegas
my
story,
Vegas
that's
story.
right.
Exactly.
And
Carrie, I saw you at that one clothing store. I don't remember.
You remember, Carrie?
was
Oh,
was I
you'll
was I
remember.
was I buying my garments?
It was that
Was
one
it that
clothing
one?
store.
That one
No.
clothing store.
I don't know what you call him. Come on, help me out. A thing.
You
A
know,
management,
a thing.
Whatever.
I can.
Oh,
I can,
wait, was it a remote?
You know, I can see why you were the impetus for the all-day show because it takes all day to get anything out of
Holy
you.
crap! You've been doing this all day. I'm tired too. And yes, other whatever.
She's
But
drunk.
No, I'm not.
No.
I'm just embarrassed.
Candy Bear.
This is the note you want to go out on.
Yeah.
By the way.
Oh, Candace, you've been rickrolled. I'm sorry.
God bless you, Candace.
All right.
I'm glad that somehow you started the all-day show, but no, that's not the note we want to go out on.
Well, we got 20 minutes.
But as with all of our all-day shows, I seem to remember that they go out with not with a bang but a whimper.
I've been whimpering for the last hour and 20 minutes.
They just kind of peter out at the end. So,
Well, Gina, I'm used to your whimpering.
It's what I do.
So it's unknown Hinson is the
voice
is the dad
of
there.
Early dad.
Yeah. Who's the kid?
I don't know who the actor is that plays him.
I like that.
That's Rusty.
It's not an actor; those are real people.
They're real squids.
Real squids.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, it's time to announce the winner of round one of the Boner voting, and the winner of round one is brought to you in part by garlic bread.
Ooh.
And Snowbird's annual Oktoberfest. Enjoy classic German beer, food, and music every Saturday and Sunday through October 15th. Get all the details at snowbird.com.
So Boner candidate number one was they will throw the book at him. The Book of Mormon, that is. The guy who vandalized the Smith's Marketplace in Provo left behind a Book of Mormon with his name in it. That helped the police find him. Apparently they also had some surveillance video, helped identify him. Boner candidate number two, we saw it as a business opportunity. This is 4 inmates in a jail in Mississippi breaking out, robbing a dollar store. Then they sneak back into the jail to sell the items that they had stolen from the dollar store. And Boner candidate number 3, tally-ho, dude. Oh, a little help, please. The mountain climbers, if you can call it a mountain, in England, who climbed up this England's highest mountain, which isn't very high, got stoned, smoking a lot of weed, and were unable to walk and get back down. They had to send search and rescue for them. Must have been some good stuff.
I can just see them lying onto the ground, grabbing onto the grass so that they don't fly off the planet.
Man, we're going to fall off this mountain. Let's see the winner of tickets to see Cake, continuing that tradition of ticket-winning cake winners.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron won the tickets. And Boner candidate number 3, tally-ho, dude, some help, please.
Oh, the fun one.
That one goes on to Boner Fight. It might possibly become Boner of the Day. Boner Fight happens at 9:25, but it must defeat the winner of round 2's Boner voting, which starts at 8:20.
Yeah.
All right.
Now we have, September's almost over.
Yeah.
So we're getting into Halloween season.
Oh, that's right.
And Fear Factory. It's easily the most terrifying haunted attraction in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
Over 200 years of gruesome history right in the heart of Salt Lake City's industrial district. It's open now.
Oh, it is?
They've been open for a while. My younger son works there.
Little Bill?
Yeah.
What's his character this year?
Well, he's a clown. His sort of overall clown persona is Uncle Disno is the name of the character. And my younger daughter is working there too.
Really?
Julie. She's playing the part of Grandpa from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
So she just
sitting
kind of
in a
sits
chair?
there.
She sits in a chair
goes,
with
like that.
She sits in a chair with a mask on. It's a pretty hideous mask, and that's all she has to do.
Does she have like a bloody severed foot she's gnawing on?
I'm
or-
not sure.
No?
At any point, does someone put a finger in Grandpa's mouth? Because that happened.
I don't. Probably.
That happened.
Yeah. Probably.
So it's open Fridays and Saturdays. You can get information about the free zombie bus and purchase tickets at fearfactoryslc.com. Or maybe right now.
Now?
You could win them from us. 877-602-9696. Now, this is a qualifying prize.
So you win
tickets to Fear Factor. What you're
What am I
qualifying
qualified for?
Well, a chainsaw.
We're giving away a chainsaw? Oh, hey, is that you, Chainsaw Guy? Oh, there he is. Hi, Chainsaw Guy.
How's it going?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm okay. I hope they're giving away a Pullman.
You know, I was going to say,
I
we
don't know
don't
what
know the
brand.
brand of chainsaw. Yeah, a Pullman is
find
your
out.
favorite?
Now, I'm here to help with the contest.
Well, so here's how the contest will work. 877-602-9696. Now, it's a little hard to understand, Chainsaw Guy. Carrie and I
What do you
speak
mean?
Chainsaw Guy.
Well, the mask. It's,
But so he's going to say a phrase, and if you can correctly translate the phrase, you will get tickets to Fear Factory and be qualified to win the chainsaw.
So what are we taking calls?
Yeah. 877-602-9696.
Well, all I got to do is crank it up, bro.
Well, yeah, see, nobody explained to me how this contest is going to work. But Todd is on the line. Todd, Hi, Todd.
How are you doing this morning?
It's fine. So Chainsaw Guy's going to say a phrase now?
Yeah. And then if you can correctly translate it, you'll win the Fear Factory tickets and be qualified to win the chainsaw.
All right.
Sounds good.
I know you can do it, buddy.
Do you have the phrase, Chainsaw Guy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead. Maybe you ought to say it
one more time.
One more
Chase.
time, maybe. Did you get that?
I have no clue.
Just give it a guess.
Oh, come on, Howard, you can do it.
How about Happy Halloween?
Oh, that's right.
Is that correct?
Yeah. This is exactly what I thought. That's it.
You guys are awesome.
All right, well, I guess
Hang
so.
on the line.
Okay, so he wins tickets.
He wins tickets to Fear Factory and
I win tickets to Fear Factory.
And you're qualified to win a chainsaw.
Yeah,
And
I
is
love
it,
chainsaws.
you know, and if you want, maybe you could bring it by, and Chainsaw Guy would autograph it if
I
you
bet
win
he
it.
would.
All right.
For an extra
Would
$10.
love it.
Extra $10.
Extra. Well, I'll take care of that extra $10 for an autograph. All right. Thank you, Todd. Hang on the line. We'll get your information.
Well, it's nice to see Chainsaw Guy.
Yeah, you usually don't see him this early in the year.
So you're going to be happy because I think you're going to be happy, and everybody else is going to be going, "Oh, not this again," because we're going to do this every day for a while.
Dylan and I are happy. We're the only two people.
You are.
Yeah. Chainsaw Guy isn't even happy about it.
Yeah, he likes to sleep in now and then.
You know, I mean, he'd been demoted, remember?
That's right.
He was leaf blower guy last year.
Well, we'll have to talk to him next time about how he got his job back.
Glad he got it back. Yeah. All right, coming up next hour, Bill Frost will be telling us what's on TV. We've got round 2 of the boner voting, some news for you, and geek news on the way. Stand by for all of that.
Crash eastbound 12th Street at I-15 southbound freeway in Ogden. It's off to the right shoulder. Crash southbound I-15 at 80th South. That is also on the right shoulder. Crash northbound I-15 111th South. And still issues, let's see. No, I think that other one cleared up. So if you see something, please let us know. Text it to us, 33986.
All right. And let's see, some guy in the chat room wants to know if that was a 16-inch still chainsaw. No, Chainsaw Guy uses a pullin.
He uses a pullin.
And I don't know if it's 16-inch. It sounds,
we'll measure
didn't
it
look
next
that big
time.
to me,
You know,
so.
he started out with one of those little eager beavers.
Yeah.
That's how he started, but now he's got, I think it's a 16-inch.
You think?
I think.
Okay, well, we'll ask him when he comes back in. All right, we'll find out what's on TV after these. KXRK Provo.
This is very...
Just a quick note here. Is a statistic for you. Only 1 out of 9 people say that they would donate, when they died, would donate their uterus for transplant.
Why only?
One
now,
out
are
of 9.
these people?
Only 1 out of 9 said that they would allow a family member to donate a uterus. They're doing uterus transplants in they're playing God in Russia or someplace like that.
Are these people that would donate other organs?
Yeah.
So you can have my eyes, you can have my kidneys.
Can't have my uterus.
Why?
Uterus donation, they think is. Oh, it was in Saudi Arabia. I think it was done. Doctors in Saudi Arabia. I guess they. I don't know. Okay, Gina, would you donate your uterus?
You can have whatever you want of mine when I die. Because guess what? I'm dead.
Richie's raised his hands.
I want your uterus.
You can have it, honey.
I'd keep it in a box. I'd use it for a catcher's mitt.
Please use. Everything's very well preserved.
I think people think it's just too creepy. Your uterus is well preserved?
Sure.
It's low mileage.
Only
One
2
owner?
kids.
It's a one
I only
owner?
drive it to and from church on Sunday, and that's it.
Yep. Well, okay.
Good.
Good.
Please
Okay.
have it.
All right.
Take my uterus.
Bill, and Gina
Well, we
on
have to-
X96.
Have to apologize. Apparently, Chainsaw Guy took a swipe at Bill Frost on the way with his chainsaw.
Well, you can't walk up behind him and startle him.
I should know better.
You and your quiet walking feet.
We apologize. We apologize. He gets a little. He's trigger happy.
Well, and it's hard to see out of that mask sometimes.
Yeah.
Talking with Bill Frost, brought to you by Black Turtle. They're hiring full and part-time customer service representatives, competitive pay, including health and welfare benefits. If you're remarkable and looking for a great new opportunity, apply with Black Turtle online at jointheturtle.com.
And now, Bill Frost,
Hi.
City Weekly television writer, hi, and also host of the TV Tan podcast and purveyor of the Ocho, a list of 8 ridiculous things every week in the City Weekly. And you can find all of Bill's writing and other things where?
At billfrost.tv.
Okay.
A lot of stuff there.
He's here to tell us what's coming up this week on TV.
Oh, there's too much.
Yeah?
This is officially starting the Too Many Shows season?
Yeah, we're right in the thick of it now.
Season of Too Many Shows.
Yeah, but it's also not It's also not a lot of stuff you're going to spend a lot of time on. So.
Well, let us know what you've seen and how it is.
I've seen too much, Bill. I've seen too much. Young Sheldon starts tonight.
Don't care.
You're right.
No.
It's a prequel to The Big Bang Theory, if you will. It's a 9-year-old Sheldon. It's a sitcom. No laugh track.
No laugh track.
Which is unusual for CBS.
But it's narrated by?
Narrated by Jim Parsons, so you can't get away from him.
There is no escape.
Yeah, I heard it was kind of like the Wonder Years.
Yeah, so my review says there's already 6 seasons worth of The Wonder Years on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Just do that at your leisure.
If you want this style.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all this is. I think the only cool twist of this is that they have the daughter of Sheldon's mom, Laurie Metcalf. Laurie Metcalf's daughter plays the mother, the younger mother.
Okay.
Like in real
Sheldon.
life?
Oh,
I'm confused.
Yeah. So it's Laurie Metcalf's
daughter playing the mother of young Sheldon.
All right.
That's kind of cool.
And Laurie Metcalf
She's a very good actress.
Yes.
in The Big Bang Theory as his mother.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Her real life daughter plays. Okay.
We don't watch that show, so you don't know.
I didn't know that. Yeah. All right.
I should have clarified.
No, it's fine.
For people who don't watch that show. Also, Me, Myself, and I. It's a comedy. God, I always forget his name. Bobby Moynihan.
Yes.
It's also no laugh track.
Oh.
He plays.
Is that because it's not funny?
Well, that's part of it. He plays a man. You see his high school self, his middle-aged self, and his old man self, played by John Larroquette.
So he doesn't play all three roles.
No.
But they're touting this as Bobby Moynihan's show.
Yeah, he mostly focuses on his character.
Now wait a minute.
Yeah, it's like 3 different stages of his life happening simultaneously.
I see Bobby Moynihan in my mind. Isn't he Asian?
No.
Moynihan?
He's drunk uncle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drunk uncle.
But he now, okay. So John Larroquette is old Bobby Moynihan.
Yes.
But John Larroquette, the vocal range between these two is very different. So
Yes, it is.
That's going to pull me out of it, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to be around long enough for it to matter.
Oh, really?
Probably.
Did you see some?
I don't think it's gonna.
I might watch it because I love John Larroquette.
As do I. Yeah.
I think he's great.
Also, the premiere of The Good Doctor, starring Norman Bates.
Oh, what's his name?
Norman
Freddie
Bates.
Highmore.
Freddie Highmore.
Freddie Highmore. Yeah.
He'll always be Norman Bates to me.
Yeah. He's a young doctor with autism. He's brilliant.
But
he's got people's lives in his hands, man. Right. How can we trust this young guy?
It's Doogie Howser with autism.
Yes.
All right.
Exactly.
All right.
He's not quite as young as Doogie was, but still.
So far, I'm not watching TV.
Yeah. Well, you're right so far. Also, the debut of The Brave. It's a military drama on NBC.
No.
I'm still waiting for something I care about.
Okay, here's something for you.
Okay.
Tonight, after The Daily Show,
Okay.
The Opposition with Jordan Klepper.
Okay, I like Jordan Klepper.
If you remember what Stephen Colbert was in relation to Bill O'Reilly and Fox News, this is Jordan Klepper in relation to Alex Jones and InfoWars.
So he's playing.
Is he going to yell?
Yeah, he's playing the part of a really right wing pundit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so
no, it's alternative media, Carrie.
Alternative media, right? So he'll be wading into those crowds
again. But isn't that crazy enough on its own? How much further can he go with it? Would be my question.
I don't know.
Oh, you used to think Bill O'Reilly, there was nothing more to add to him.
Okay.
Stephen Colbert made a whole career out of it.
I heard a comedian who got the job as the warm-up for his audience talking about what he's doing, and he said, we saw the first episode, and it's pretty brilliant.
I mean, I love, the thing I like what that Jordan Klepper does is like man on the street kind of, talking to folks. And
there'll be some of that.
There'll be some of that.
Yeah.
So they'll be talking to some aliens, too. And now, is that on Comedy Central, did you say?
That is, yeah, right after The Daily Show. Right. Tomorrow night, Law & Order, True Crime. This is Law & Order delving into the American Crime Story territory.
I heard an interview with one of the creators, not Dick Wolf, but the other guy.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking of you, Gina. This is a show for you.
Well, I do love the true crime.
And the first one is about the Menendez brothers.
Yes. 90s murder dreamboats, the Menendezes.
One of them's good looking.
He said one thing that was... Now, he had some sympathy for the Menendez
No.
brothers. Now, wait, hold on. They murdered their parents.
Yes.
And he had some sympathy for them. The defense tried to say that they did it because they had been horribly abused as children. This guy said there is evidence, strong evidence, that that's true. In the home, there were found all kinds of pictures of the boys when they were young and the only thing he said about it was they were taken by their parents, and they were the kind of pictures that if you were in possession of them, you would be arrested.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He said they were just horrible. And it made me start thinking about that case again, and I thought about you, Gina. And
it's also a very short run. It's about 10 episodes.
Okay.
So you don't have to commit to 22 episodes
Good,
of the
thank
Menendez
you.
brothers.
I bet you'd like this. You would
That's
like
right
this.
up my
Yeah, and he said if this goes well, they'll do some others.
Oh, yeah.
Take some.
Yeah, I should mention, these are just the news shows. All of your other shows are coming back as well. Pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
So just assume they're back to it. Coming up on Wednesday, another military drama, SEAL Team, David Boreanaz.
No.
David Boreanaz?
Yeah.
Mm.
Just kind of sleepwalking through this thing.
He will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Cashing a check. And coming up on Thursday, NBC, the return of Will and Grace.
No.
It could be. I'm willing.
I haven't
to give
seen it
this a
yet.
chance.
I'm willing to bet
I'm
it's
willing to-
exactly what it was before.
But I didn't like it when it was
It was,
on
it was
before.
amusing a little bits and
Anytime Karen came
Yeah.
on, I was all
Yeah.
for it. Megan
Yeah.
Mullally, I'll go there for her.
Yeah. And also season 4 of Nathan For You.
Oh, they're starting that again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And going all the way to Friday, Z Nation is back if you need some zombie action. If Fear the Walking Dead isn't doing it for you. And also, unfortunately, Marvel's Inhumans.
Not good.
No, I refer to this
reviews,
as
yeah.
Marvel's Agents of Sock.
It got rushed, and
Yeah.
it's a tough property to tackle. I'll be honest with
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
When it reminds me of the first couple of Fantastic Four movies.
Yeah.
And that's not a good comparison at all.
I mean, your lead guy
Can't speak.
can't speak.
Because his voice is a powerful weapon.
Who decided that was a good idea to?
What works?
Well, that's the thing is that it's actually a good idea if you can do it right. The lead guy is Black Bolt. He's the leader of the King of the Inhumans, and he can't speak because his power is that his voice. He can bring down a mountain.
He can speak. He
He's
does
one. Yeah,
not.
he's one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel
Does he
universe.
walk around with a steno pad?
No, his wife is telepathic. Medusa is her name.
Yeah.
And she's got the living hair.
Yeah.
So
they're
she
kind of
just
like a dollar.
translates for
So
him?
she can,
They're
talk.
Penn and Teller.
Yeah, she
They're
can
kind
talk
of like
for
they're
him.
kind of like a dollar store X-Men. Is what they are.
Teller can really talk.
But he doesn't because he's so powerful.
Recently, to digress,
Yeah,
on
sorry.
a recent episode of Dice on Showtime,
Saw that.
Teller spoke.
Oh, did he?
He
Well,
spoke a lot.
At first, he wasn't speaking to Dice. He goes, "Look, you're not on stage. We're back here by the craft services. You can talk to me." You're right. I was being a dick. Let me.
He has a lovely voice.
Yeah.
Also on Friday on Amazon Prime, 10 Stars, starring Tim Roth and Christina Hendricks.
Tin Star.
10 Star.
I have heard nothing about
on
this.
Amazon Prime, yes.
Yeah, is this an old West Western?
No, it's a modern day. Tim Roth is a former British detective who is now a small town sheriff.
Oh God. Okay.
That sounds ridiculous.
I know, right?
That
And then
might work.
who's Christina Hendricks?
Christina Hendricks is the corporate liaison for an oil refinery that's moving into
Now
the small
that's
town.
ridiculous.
If you remember the Margot Martindale season of Justified, it's
So
a bit
she-
like that.
So she's the bad guy?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'll go
Yeah.
there for her. Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's, Tim Roth. Saturday Night Live is back on Saturday.
Yay.
Ryan Gosling, Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Sunday, all your Fox cartoons are back, plus Ghosted, starring Craig Robinson and Adam Scott. It's basically comedy X-Files,
Yeah.
and it's actually pretty funny.
That's what
I
I,
like
hear.
both
yeah.
of them.
Yeah, this might go somewhere.
This seems like something that should be on Adult Swim. but-
Should be, yes.
So I watched the
The new
Is that all
Star
of them?
Trek.
There's a few more here.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll just skip right over Wisdom of the Crowd, starring Jeremy Piven as a tech billionaire.
Don't care.
Who's using crowdsourcing to find the killer of his daughter.
Yeah.
Forget the Constitution and rights to privacy
Yeah.
and things like that.
We don't need that.
10 Days in the Valley, starring Kira Sedgwick as a television producer whose daughter goes missing.
That was a movie, wasn't it?
No.
No?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you might be thinking of what was that? 3 Days in the Valley back in the 90s.
It's a different number of days.
Different
in the
number of
valley.
days.
All right.
It's Kira Sedgwick, so if you like her.
Yeah.
Also on BYU TV, Extinct, an Orson Scott Card thing.
Nope.
Yeah, it's a sci-fi thing on BYU TV. I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to look.
Yeah.
Orson Scott Card. No.
Yes, exactly.
No.
And of course, season 9, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh,
this Sunday.
Okay,
This Sunday, yes.
Curb.
The gang's all back.
Mm-hmm.
Larry's
right.
back. Larry and
JB
Leon.
JB Smoove.
They're back from France.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm excited for that.
Just quickly, I watched the Good Place. Ted Danson and what's her
Kristen
name?
Bell.
Kristen Bell.
Yep.
And it was an hour episode. The first.
Yes.
And it was great, absolutely great. But you go through the commercials, and you didn't see this probably. Ted Danson doing a commercial in there for Smirnoff vodka.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was hilarious. Two guys standing there looking at vodka. They're holding in a liquor store. One of them's holding Smirnoff. Said, maybe we should get something more expensive. Smirnoff is just kind of. Maybe we should. What would Ted Danson? What kind of vodka would he drink? Ted Danson comes up and says, "Hey guys, it's me, Ted Danson. I drink Smirnoff all the time."
It's me, international treasure Ted Danson.
So they say, "Okay." So they go to the liquor store. You say to the woman checking him out at the liquor store, "Did you see Ted Danson?" I see too much of Ted Danson in here.
All right, thank you, Bill.
New crash eastbound 12th Street in Ogden. The right lane to turn onto the southbound ramp to I-15. Expect delays on eastbound 12th Street. New crash southbound I-15, 27 south, just off to the right shoulder. And looks like that is about it as far as accidents are concerned. Let me check our message stream quickly. 33986 if you see something you want to let other friends of the program know about. Brought to you by Snowbird's annual Oktoberfest. Enjoy classic German beer, food, music every Saturday and Sunday through October 15th. Get all the details at snowbird.com.
All right, here are your boner candidates coming up for round 2. Boner candidate number 1, I will do whatever it takes to have the world's largest bum. Boner candidate number 2, I had to get some cash for a bucket of extra crispy. And boner candidate number 3, well, maybe we should fire this player.
All right, thank you. News coming up after these, along with round 2 of your boner voting. Geek news a little bit later. Got to tell you about shamrockplumbing.net. That's their website.
I just had them at my house, and they did the chopping up the branches that come through the pipes out to the street.
I'm wondering if I should have that done.
I've had it done once a year since we moved into the house, and the guy from Shamrock Plumbing says, because you do this regularly, it gets easier every time.
See, I don't live in a tree-filled neighborhood, but certainly an older neighborhood, so maybe.
It's and I've had Shamrock Plumbing in my house recently as well. Just all they did was fix a drippy faucet that we couldn't get fixed ourselves. So Shamrock Plumbing, no job too big or too small. Typical plumbing emergencies like clogged drains or leaky faucets, and then they do big jobs like if you're remodeling, they'll redo the pipes, or if you're building a new home, they'll do the plumbing for that. So call Shamrock Plumbing. 801-295-1690, or you can go to their website, shamrockplumbing.net.
I've just been meaning to ask you, Gina, the last 3 days, and I forgot. Well, the last 2 days.
What?
So you went to collect your daughter at camp.
Yes.
On Saturday, I think it was.
Friday.
And we'd had some discussion last week about the letters, and that you had written a letter to her, a daily letter that she took with her.
Yes.
And you instructed her to open one a day.
Yes.
And being the good little girl she
Yes.
is, I'm sure that's exactly the way she did it.
Yes.
Whereas when I was a little kid, when I'd gotten to camp, I would just want to open them all.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to read them all. And then she was incommunicado
For a week.
Really 7 days? Was it 7 days?
Sunday to Friday.
Yeah, okay. And so the only communication that you could have with her would be a letter that she would send you.
Right.
And you kept waiting for the letter and waiting for the letter. And I said, you're not going to get the letter until after you pick her up. Have you received, as you went to get her and collected her tear-stained pillow and and all of the soiled bedding and everything? And
she did very well, actually, at camp.
Well, I'm sure she did, but
I'm saying there wasn't a tear-stained pillow.
I joke.
I know. Okay. As I got home with her after we picked it up, it was in the mailbox.
As I thought.
Yes.
And was the letter tear-stained?
No.
Was it very detailed?
Yes.
What did she write it the first day, or did she just write it, like the day before you?
And then express it.
She wrote it halfway through, and she said, "Next year I know to write it earlier in the week."
But there you go. So it might have gotten to you.
Mm-hmm. But it was a happy letter. I'm having a great time. And she said, I knew you would ask, Mom. The food is great, is what the letter said.
Food is great.
I knew you would ask.
And then she had no trouble finding an owl to deliver it.
No, came right to the...
Right.
She's very, very methodical in her thinking. She said, I sent it on Wednesday. I should send it earlier next time. But I should at least wait a day till I've done something to write about so she's figuring out the best day to send it. It's probably Tuesday, and then I would get it. But she did great. She wants to go back. So
she did the rope swing. She swam in the lake. She went canoeing. Killed a bear.
No,
none of that.
No.
What do they do? What do they sit around and sew?
They made bread.
That's not camp. You go out. You got to go out and kill squirrels and play capture the flag at night, and then kids get lost in the woods.
At the very least, play with the fire.
Yeah, roast no fire.
Poking a stick in it.
No.
They made bread. They had morning meditation.
What?
Sissy camp. We did yoga, Mom.
She loved it. That's all that matters.
Sissy camp.
Okay.
On X96.
All right, it's 8:22, time for round 2 of your boner voting. 3 news stories that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. And you will decide which of these 3 candidates is the worst, which one of these 3 is the most deserving to go forward to Boner Dome for Boner Fight and possibly become Boner of the Day. Boner means mistake. So 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, you'll vote. One of you lucky boner voters will receive a Can't Buy It, Gotta Win It Radio from Hell Boner t-shirt, courtesy of
Excel Automotive Repair, radio from hell's official auto mechanics. Don't buy a lemon. Try Excel Automotive's $50 bumper-to-bumper used car checkover before you buy. Limit 2 cars per $50.
Here's boner candidate number 1. And I used the wrong accent before. It should be, yeah, sure, I'll do whatever it takes to have the world's largest bum. An Instagram page can tell you an awful lot about their owner. And I guess if you go to x96.com/live, you'll see this.
Oh my good Lord.
Some show their cooking art. Others make detailed collages of their trips around the world. Beautiful girls have a hobby of taking pictures of themselves and their body parts. 25-year-old model from Sweden, Natasha Crown, has made photos of her appearances, but the pictures she posts are special indeed. The woman does not conceal her addiction to plastic surgery, especially to plastic surgery on her buttocks. Natasha Crown had her first surgery to enlarge her buttocks when she was 20 years of age. She then realized that she was obsessed with that part of her body. To have perfect buttocks, the woman eats only high-calorie food in a hope that her buttocks will grow even bigger. These days, the woman's buttocks are 2 meters around.
Oh, my.
But she still thinks that's small.
Really?
She says,
wow.
I will do whatever it takes, yeah, sure, to have the world's biggest bum. Boner candidate number 1.
Well, everybody needs a goal, I guess.
Well, get to it then. There's boner candidate number 2. I had to get some cash for a bucket of extra crispy. Police arrested a Gainesville, Florida man at a KFC after they say he stole more than $10,000 from a Wells Fargo bank. Samuel Javon Reeves entered the Wells Fargo bank, told the teller he needed money, according to a Gainesville Police Department report. The teller said, "You have a debit card?" He said, "No, this is a robbery.
Oh, well.
Give me all your money in the bank."
In the bank?
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't a specific amount. It was just whatever you have there.
The teller gave Mr. Reeves money that was in her drawer and asked if he wanted a bag. He said, "Yes, that would be nice, thank you."
That would be convenient.
Yeah. He then took the bag with more than $10,000 in it, went to the neighboring Publix grocery store parking lot. A bank employee followed him, taking photos of him with his phone. Mr. Reeves then went to the KFC and sat next to a woman and bummed a cigarette from her.
He didn't pay for anything.
At which point, police officers arrived and arrested Mr. Reeves at the Kentucky Fried Chicken. Boner candidate number 2, well, I had to get some cash for a bucket of extra crispy. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3, well, maybe we should fire this player.
All right, it's boner candidate number 3 after this here big boy news and opinioendo brought to you by
The Ruin in Sugar House, a modern bar open daily from 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. featuring weekly bingo, DJs, live music, located on Wilmington Avenue. Ruin, work is the curse of the drinking class.
Story for you, Gina.
Give it to me.
You got it. A nude, blood-drenched, good so far.
So far, so good.
Nude, blood-drenched, apparently high, Long Island man died early Saturday after he was tased twice by the cops. Walter Perez, a restaurant worker, screamed and banged on the walls of his basement apartment, leading his landlord to call 911. 2 o'clock in the morning. Officers arrived. Mr. Perez, naked, covered in blood, and acting as if he were on some sort of mind-altering substance. Perez repeatedly threatened the police officers. They finally tased him twice. It had no immediate effect.
That's how you know you're on the drugs.
It took 4 cops to subdue and handcuff Mr. Perez, at which point he stopped breathing. He was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. It was an extremely unfortunate circumstance, said Detective Lieutenant Richard LeBrun. He said the actions he believed that the actions of his officers were appropriate because Perez was so belligerent and uncontrollable. A lot of snow up in the Park City area, Summit County yesterday.
Well, it just rained and rained and rained, so you know it was dumping up there.
The snow was on the ground Sunday morning in places across northern Utah, including Bear Lake, Big Cottonwood Canyon, Parley's Canyon had snow. The National Weather Service issued a hazardous winter warning on Sunday. Accumulating snow expected to continue. That's all passed through now. Apparently, it's going to, I guess, today and through the rest of the week.
Warm up.
It'll warm up, but not bad. I mean, it'll be in the mid-70s.
It'll be lovely, actually.
Yeah, should be very nice. Sunday's high temperature in Salt Lake City was only 49 degrees, with a low of 40 degrees. Today it should get up to, in the 50s, gradually warm up. But it was really amazing to see the pictures of that snow. And it was that real, they must have, I'll bet they have a lot of broken trees, things like, it was a very heavy snow. And Orem chiropractor has been convicted of sexually assaulting 3 women who were his patients during a 4-year period. Dale Harland Heath, arrested and is in Utah County Jail after a jury found him guilty of object rape and other crimes. Mr. Heath originally was charged with 2 more counts, but he managed to plea bargain some of those away. At least 3 of his patients, female patients, said that he had touched them inappropriately. This is not the chiropractic manipulation I came in here for,
No.
they said.
I didn't want it to be manipulated in another way.
I have this story from last week. Utah State University students are suffering a wasp attack last week.
Wow.
Happened as students were walking to class up on campus. Several students were stung, as well as one professor who suffered an allergic reaction to a sting. Another professor and students told Fox 13 that the professor had to be rushed to the emergency room.
Wow.
Because of a wasp sting. They apparently there was a huge number of them. There was a kind of appeared to be a wasp's nest in a tree, and a USU biologist said, now wasps, they don't attack unless they feel threatened.
Well, I feel threatened when wasps are around.
Listen, I'm telling you, I have had my share of wasp incidents. They're buttholes. They're jerks. Wasps are really just.
I don't think they. I mean, bees. I get.
They are.
You have to provoke them. Wasps, no, they're jerks.
No, yeah, they're the gang. They're the thugs.
They are the a-holes of the insect world. Really.
God, I can't stand them. There are very few. I don't kill spiders in my house. If I have to shoo them outside,
have them as pets.
Yeah. But wasps, that's maybe the only insect that I will just let them have it. Because they're jerks. No, you don't want to do that. Let's see. Steve Mnuchin.
Ooh.
Yep.
I don't even know what story you're going to do, but whatever it is, it's.
Well, he's the Treasury Secretary.
Yeah.
He said on Sunday that he echoed President Trump's criticism of professional athletes who protest racism, saying that the players kneeling or making other gestures during the national anthem, they can do that free speech thing on their own time, he said.
That's how the Constitution works.
So when you're working, you're not an American. Okay.
Well, it's not about free speech, Mnuchin said. During an appearance on this week on ABC.
Okay.
They can do free speech on their own time.
That's not how it works.
Let me just finish the sentence here. That this is about respect for the military and the first responders and the country.
No, it's not what it's about at all. And the way that he talks, it's like, well, they're essentially owned by the NFL team, so they don't have any rights. Yeah. You're our property, and so you should do what we say.
Yeah, they're property. That sort of plays into the whole thing as well, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. But they're millionaires. What are they complaining about? That's the other thing. And I saw somebody point out.
Our president's a billionaire, and he complains all the time.
I saw somebody point out that didn't stop people from spray painting the N-word on LeBron James' house.
Exactly.
In the wake of President Trump's calling for the firing of NFL players who protest during the national anthem, those protests increased by about 2,000%. The AP reported more than 130 players sat, knelt, or raised fists for the national anthem during Sunday's day games. Last week it was 6 players. Last week 6. This past week over 130.
I got a guy who says, I do pest control, back to the wasps.
Yeah.
I do pest control. We call wasps trash bees.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, I got a text from our... This is from Dorian Drage. He's
oh yes, Creature Encounter.
Creature Encounters guy. They deal with.
They don't have pet wasps.
No, he says wasps are a-holes. That's science. That is science, man.
Because what are they? Usually you can say, well, yeah, but they do this good thing, like.
Well,
they're food for other things.
No,
they're not even food for other things.
No,
are
they are. They are very. They're scavengers. They particularly protein. They're like vultures. They eat dead things. They eat, So they do good. They do have a place.
There you go.
But
Sticking up for wasps.
Just not anywhere. No, I'm not sticking up for them. I just say they have their place in nature, just not anywhere near me, as far as I'm concerned. And Donald Trump on Friday deflected concerns that Russia interfered in the 2016 presidential election in his favor. And now I guess we didn't talk about it. Facebook has said they are turning over all of these ads that were placed. Facebook said, we know that these ads were placed by Russians.
And the Department of Homeland Security on Friday released their intel about how I can't recall the number, but there were ballots and the Russians, the bots were trying to infiltrate. Yeah. They didn't say they were successful, but there was an attempt.
Now, these ads that were on Facebook were anti-Hillary. They were obviously anti-Hillary ads,
not just
pro-Trump ads.
News articles. They weren't just ads. They were planted
and rallies.
News articles.
And rallies.
Well, Donald.
Wrong.
So Donald Trump, when he was asked about this, he said, "Oh, this is just the fake news media doing this, wielding more influence with their support of Hillary Clinton."
Nope.
Trump also referred to the multiple investigations into Russia's meddling as nothing more than a hoax, and returned to accusing the media of biased coverage during the campaign in support of crooked Hillary.
God, what a delusional... He's either delusional or lying his ass off.
The Facebook provided congressional investigators with more than 3,000 ads that Russia had purchased during the campaign, and reports that the special counsel's investigation, that's Robert Mueller, is focusing in part on the president himself. Trump's allegation that the news media gave unfair coverage during the campaign echoes accusations Mrs. Clinton made in her recent book, What Happened. While Trump said the news media favored Clinton, the former Democratic nominee said the news media did not focus enough on the links between Mr. Trump and Russia. So
hurry up, Mr. Mueller. I'm so sick of all this.
Now, people say that. Why is it taking so long? And I have to remind people, Watergate took 2 years. From beginning to him resigning.
Make me feel any better.
Don't rush him.
From beginning to him resigning, it took 2 years. So,
let's see. I think that's in the box office. Kingsman: The Golden Circle won the weekend with $39 million. People thought that the Lego Movie would do better, and it did not. Did not live up to expectations. And Sean gave it a good review. I read some reviews of it that said, the first two were great. This one, they've just kind of gone by the numbers, and it's not so good. Yeah. They seem to have lost their edge.
And Sean and Jimmy thought it was funny. And,
So I don't know. But apparently people did not go to it in droves like people.
I think it's because it wasn't Lego Batman, or something like that.
Maybe so.
All right.
All right.
Weather, it's, and Bill mentioned this in the news a little bit, but we are warming up, although right now it's pretty chilly. But we'll get up to 60 today slowly throughout the week. We'll be up in mid-70s by the end of the week. Traffic, we've got a crash northbound I-15 at milepost 274 in Linden. A couple different people sending that one in to me. Thank you for that. Crash southbound I-15 milepost 330, the Layton Parkway in Davis County. Crash westbound SR 201 30th West in Salt Lake. That's off to the right shoulder. Crash eastbound 12th Street, I-15 South Freeway in Ogden. Right shoulders being affected there. Crash southbound I-15 at 80th South. And it looks like that's about it. Traffic brought to you by Bad Apple, introducing low price guarantee on iPhone screen repair. Just bring in the advertised price from another business, and Bad Apple will beat it. Now with 10 locations, go to badapplerepair.com.
All right. Boner candidate number 3. Well, maybe we should fire this player. I just thought it was pretty awful because it was so stupid and so pointless. Odell Beckham Jr. broke out one of the most unique end zone celebrations you will ever see. He scored a touchdown on Sunday, and then he got down on all fours in the end zone and lifted his leg and pretended to pee like a dog.
Marking his territory.
He was so
that end zone
excited.
is mine. That Bill,
Yeah.
you're not reading the subtle of.
I don't care why he did it. It was just, and then so they've lightened up on end zone celebrations.
They have, but
in this case they threw a flag.
He got an unsportsmanlike.
They threw a flag, and then he spent, I swear to God, 10 minutes. The camera would go back on him, going around. What? Like,
what
come on. What did I do? I didn't do anything. Come on. Maybe we ought to fire that player. Boner candidate number 3.
All right. Let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boner candidate number 1. I'll do whatever it takes to have the world's largest bum. A Swedish woman, she claims she's a model, has grown her buttocks to 70 inches, some of it with plastic surgery, and then I guess she eats a special buttocks enlarging diet.
I do, but not on purpose.
Boner candidate number 2, I had to get some cash for a bucket of extra crispy. It's a man who robbed a bank and then went to the KFC with a big bag of money. And boner candidate number 3, well, maybe we should fire this player.
All right. Let's get to voting. Here we go. This is round 2 of your boner voting. All right. You got to decide which one of these 3 candidates, of these 3, is the worst. Which one of these 3 deserves to go to Boner Fight and possibly become Boner of the Day. We do that at 9:25. All right, so round 2, here we go. 1, 2, or 3, the candidate you think should win. Put that number in the message of a text and text that to 33986. Here they come. You can go online and vote, x96.com. Look for the box. This is round 2, September 26th. Vote there. Or, let's see, you can go to call. Use your phone, 877-602-9696. Another way to vote. So there you go. 3 ways to vote. It's round 2. Less than 300 seconds to do it in, so let's go. It's round 2 of your boner voting.
John Smith kicks off a 1-hour...
I was so nervous to talk about it, Robin. I mean, they're so secretive, those two.
Oh, I know, Howard.
The only reason he knew, the only reason I knew was because I'd been asked to. They asked me to make a speech.
They did what?
Yeah,
Howard?
they asked me to make a speech, Robin.
Oh,
evidently I'm in demand. I mean, I'm very friendly with Justin, you know. I mean, I like him very much. I like him.
Well, I knew that you had his phone number.
Well, I really like him. I even said in my speech to them that if one of my daughters brought home a guy like Justin, I'd be pretty pleased. I mean, except for the Essie tattoos. He's got some hugging weird ones, but except for the fact that I gave him a journal to draw in, and he draws pictures of dead zombie babies with blood dripping out of their head on almost every page. I said those two things might disturb me, but aside from that, Robin.
You said all these things at the wedding?
No, I didn't say those in the speech. I was miserable at having to speak at the couple's reception.
But you should have been honored, Howard.
Well, I was just worried about it, but I had everybody laughing. Everybody was laughing. They had these little tiny chairs. There was a table, and then when you sit down, and the chairs are like these little poofs. These little pillow poofs.
Oh, I love those kind of chairs.
Yeah, I know you do, Robin. That's because you got a big ass.
Oh, Howard.
But I love your ass, Robin. It's a big wide ass, and I know you like those.
Let's get back to the wedding,
all right,
Howard,
all
not
right.
my ass.
Well, I'm 6 foot hugging feet. I'm a grown man with a skinny ass, Robin. I got a skinny ass, not a big wide ass like your ass.
Back to the wedding.
All right.
Did you at least toast the cup? Oh, this is going.
I love the Howard Stern show, by the way.
X96.
All right, it's 8:46. Time to award round 2 of your boner voting.
And round 2 brought to you by a big plate of spaghetti.
And Lucky's Auto Credit, where $77 on a job gets you a car. 2 locations, Salt Lake City and Ogden. For program details or to apply online, visit luckysautocredit.com.
So we had boner candidate number 1. I'll do whatever it takes to have the world's largest bum. A Swedish woman, obsessed with the size of her buttocks, wanting it to get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's 70 inches around, and she's not stopping there. Boner candidate number 2, I had to get some cash for a bucket of KFC, extra crispy. It's a man who robbed a bank, took the bag of money, $100,000 or $10,000 in it, and he went to the KFC where the cops arrested him. And boner candidate number 3, well, maybe we should fire this player. Odell Beckham pretending to pee like a dog in the end zone after scoring a touchdown. Kathy won the boner t-shirt, and the winner of the voting of round 2, boner candidate number 2.
Oh.
I had to get me some cash for a bucket of extra crispy.
Classic boner.
All right. That one will go up against the winner of round 2 in Boner Fight. One of these 2 candidates will be Boner of the Day, and you will decide at 9:25 when Boner Fight happens. All right. Is this sponsored?
Geek News on the Radio brought to you by Cabin Fever, action figures, playing cards, jigsaw puzzles, and gift books. Cabin Fever, large selection of licensed merchandise located in the heart of Trolley Square, 5th South, 7th East. Cabin Fever, so much more than a card store.
All right, there is a brand new episode of GeekShowPodcast.com available right now, and that is our panel, the Geek Show panel at Salt Lake Comic-Con. We hooked up our recording equipment into their audio equipment, and we recorded it, took it home with us, chopped it up, and give it to you. It's not safe for work. Even though it was at a con.
It's extra not safe for work?
Oh, boy.
Were there children in the room?
The people who run the room are told by the con people to make sure that it's 18 and older. So and there was a baby in there.
Yeah. Now, there was that, but then you did your other show.
We did our live shows at 50 West, and those will be available in the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
And the video for those will also be available for next 2 weeks because we filmed that. And honestly, if the word of mouth is to be believed, they are probably, these 3 shows are probably some of the best live shows that we've done.
Any highlights you want to?
None I can say.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, we play match game in front of a live audience.
Yeah.
And Shannon was just having so much fun with that.
Okay.
He loved it. But anyway, so all that and coming up. Comic-Con recap. Successful.
Mm-hmm.
Tons of people. And the takeaway that I have from it is, you guys are interested in and fascinated by meeting celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
But do you know who the celebrities were all about?
Oh, I know because you mentioned it earlier.
Everyone that I talked to, the ones that I got a chance to talk to, all said the same thing. Oh, man, we got to meet Dick Van Dyke.
Makes sense.
They were thrilled.
Yeah.
As they should be.
To meet Dick Van Dyke.
He's a national treasure.
I mean, our old buddy, No You're Wrong, Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider?
He went to he attended the Dick Van Dyke panel. He wanted to say to Dick Van Dyke, thank you, on behalf of, all the comedians that I know. When we sit and we talk about our influences, we're stealing stuff from you constantly, and
except the fact that Dick Van Dyke has always had his kids inoculated.
Well,
did that come up?
It did not come up. I wanted Dick Van Dyke to say, thank you, Rob. I've lived to be 91 because I got my shots.
I got all my shots.
But even John Bernthal I got to meet Dick Van Dyke. John Cusack was really excited.
Mm-hmm. I saw him tweet about it. Yeah.
He got to meet Dick Van Dyke. So and Will Wheaton was also really excited. Will Wheaton.
Now, you were going to do his panel, and you thought maybe he won't want me to do his panel?
I did, and
his mom was there.
So, yeah, I was backstage waiting to see if they wanted to have a moderator or not, if they, Gates McFadden arrived on time, of course, because she's considerate that way. And she said, oh, yes, I'd like that. And Will Wheaton arrived late.
Mm-hmm.
My conversation with Will Wheaton went like this. Hi, Will Carey. I'm your moderator. And he went, okay, let's go. And we had to run right up onto the stage.
All right.
They didn't need me. Once they got going, the old, chemistry was... So I was essentially a traffic cop, but that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Well, that's a big part of moderating. It's just,
making sure it runs on time. And,
sure.
All that stuff. So that's what I did. It was a good time, though. It was a good time. All right, here is, because you said National Comic Book Day today?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't going to do this story today, but because you brought it to us, I would like to show you what has the right-wing pundits outraged.
Okay.
Right now.
A comic book that has them outraged.
I know, right?
Okay.
This happens maybe every 3 months. This is the latest one that they're outraged about. If you can see it if you go to x96.com/live.
That's a Superman?
That is a Superman comic.
Uh-huh.
I don't usually buy the Superman comics, but I bought this one because it outraged right-wing pundits. This is Action Comics, issue number 987. It's got a very simple cover. It's just got the Superman S logo.
Superman Action Comics #1, right? I mean, that was the very first Superman.
Yeah, that was the first
#1 action comic.
And this is
987.
You can see it says the word hope underneath it. That's how you find it. If you see it at your 7-Eleven or comic book store, that's the one you want to pick up. This is what's got them outraged. As you can see, Superman gets a call, like he does.
Okay.
Superman, help. And he runs up the stairs and is changing out of the Daily Planet building. And it says, so many things coming at once. Coincidence or something more, he thinks to himself. And then it shows, as you can see, a guy with a American flag do-rag on his head. Mm-hmm. And he has got a bunch of people holding him in front of him. He says, I gave everything to this company. Got injured so many times on the line that I literally bled for it. But I kept on working even though it was crippling me. Then you people came along. You work cheap, don't speak English, so you can't talk back or even ask for a penny more.
People from Krypton?
You cost me my job, my livelihood, and for that you pay. And then he starts firing. And just at the last minute, you can see Superman dives in front of the people. And he says, stop this. And the guy behind him goes, gracias a Dios. And Superman grabs the guy with the gun and goes, why? They stole from me, ruined me. Superman says, the only person responsible for the blackness smothering your soul is you.
Ooh, good line.
Officers, make sure these people are safe and cared for. I have to go. Anything you say, Superman.
I think it's great. His hair's still blue.
Yes, it is. So that has the right-wing pundits upset because apparently Superman is no longer for truth, justice, and the American way.
You always thought
that's their issue?
Superman as being kind of,
but here's
sort of a Republican.
But they think that, but they're wrong. Every instance, Superman has always said he's for the little guy. He's for the downtrodden.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And let's not forget that Superman is an illegal immigrant.
Exactly. He doesn't have papers.
He came here without permission of the government. He just showed up. They don't understand the whole point.
As a child, he's DACA.
Well, let's not forget, Superman created by two guys, Jewish guys, who were immigrants. This is why Superman exists, because they wanted a character that they could relate to. He's not an American citizen, but he wants the best for America.
Right.
It was exactly those thoughts that helped create Superman. So these right-wing pundits, I'm going to sound like a comic book nerd now, should maybe not weigh in on things that they do not understand, like Superman.
I think he's really changed a lot since he's been doing roids, hasn't he?
I don't know if it's roids.
He's on the steroids.
He doesn't have to.
Well, he's way more cut than he used to be.
He's Superman.
The size of those thighs.
New southbound crash, I-15 on the Layton Parkway. Let's see what else we've got. Got crash southbound 15 at SR 92 exit in Utah County. Center lane is closed there. Stalled vehicle eastbound SR 201 1300 west. Two left lanes are closed there. Crash northbound I-15 milepost 274 in Linden. Crash southbound I-15. That's that same accident people are talking about. Thank you for sending that in. 33986.
All right, thank you very much. And someone in the chat room says, come on now. Both sides were equally responsible in that Superman incident.
Yeah. There are good people on both sides.
Good people on both sides.
There was Superman.
Yes.
Good people.
They're bad aliens. All right. Let's take a break. We got, let's see.
We got that giveaway, 3-day music festival in New Orleans giveaway.
That's coming up. Stand by. KXRK Provo.
X96 is your home for non-stop music. We give you
Well, it is time for the kiss. Now, did we get enough kiss money?
Yes.
In the short amount of time?
He's lying.
Yes, we did.
How much did we get? We got
we had the $1,800 that was dropped off here. And then on the phones we had about $455.
Okay.
We said $2,000. That's $2,255.
And that was in a 10-minute time frame, really.
Richie has always wanted to kiss Gina.
So badly.
Always wanted to.
No. Oh, Craig's reaching into his wallet. I was hoping you would stop it.
And we need.
Here's Craig's going to give $2,000 to stop it.
And we need video of this.
Oh.
We need evidence. People will want to see this on our website. All right, have you got it, Dylan? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, Richie, why don't you?
Is there an embrace involved in this, or just?
No, what?
Well, there was over 2,000.
Okay.
I don't know, Craig.
He's taking his teeth out. Watch,
We'll let
see?
Craig decide. Is an embrace okay?
Yeah.
During the kiss? Because this is the guy who signs the check.
I'm doing this willingly, so I don't think it's sexual harassment.
So now I'm gonna.
Wow.
Do we need to pull him off?
Take the microphone up with you.
She's so creeped out she can't. She is so creeped
It's
out.
for
she can't
the
stand it.
homeless and to defeat FM 100. Oh, excuse me. It's to defeat FM 100 and for the homeless.
All right.
Yeah, you're going to want the microphone close for the noises.
Smacking noise.
You're not going to be any noise. Oh, quit licking your lips.
Okay. Here we go.
Put your teeth in, Richie.
No, I said I would do it with the teeth out. Now, who's counting?
We all will. 1,001, like that. Okay.
Yeah, we'll do
Ready?
it. Okay. Ready, set, go. They're not doing it yet.
So weird.
Okay.
This is really weird. I didn't think it was going to be. Okay.
Let's go. Let's do it. Okay. 1,001. 1,000. Wait a minute, I lost count.
3.
Yay!
For the homeless. Yay! It's for the homeless.
Yeah, we should have had mistletoe. Was it a big disappointment, Richie?
Richie, was it worth it?
No,
Was it everything you
but Gina wants more.
Was it everything you hoped?
That was more than 3 seconds.
That was. She kissed back, guys.
Did she?
Did she?
She kissed back.
Yeah, was it better for me or was it better for you, Gina?
It sounds like it was better for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Craig Hansen, the president of our company, now wants to see me in his office later this afternoon.
Oh,
again?
Maybe he's
another
got
2,000.
Maybe he's got 2,000 he wants to spend. Yeah.
Well,
He saw what a good kisser you were. He wants lessons.
I'm glad. Did you just wipe my kiss off?
That was really weird. I didn't think it was going to be that weird until you were right in my face.
So this is my question. You're constantly flirting with Gina.
Soft lips. Is that your question?
No, I'm just wondering if this has changed your desires or
Yeah,
intensified them.
We're done.
We're done? That's it?
We fulfilled it. Well, what else are we going to do, Gina?
There's nowhere to go from here.
You know, all I know is that I have a really sick feeling in the pit of my stomach that I didn't have about 5 minutes ago. So
It's done.
That was good. Did it for charity.
Okay.
There's a couple reasons.
Yeah.
Well, they just, yeah.
Well, one.
Today is One Hit Wonder Day.
Somehow.
And, I got it right here.
And the other one is
21 months in prison for Anthony Weiner. The headline in Huffington Post says, "Hard time for Weiner."
Oh, don't
do that. It's too easy. That's too easy.
Well, it's it's the Huffington Post. Yeah, he got sentenced 21 months in prison for sending sexually explicit messages to a 15-year-old girl. There you go. He started to cry.
Aww.
When the sentence was announced. His lawyers asked that he be sentenced to probation rather than prison.
No,
saying
because he's a repeat offender.
Saying, they're not going to give him probation.
This is not the first time, Anthony.
Recidivist.
Not a pretty word.
Not a pretty word, is it, High?
Yeah.
All right.
So we have a giveaway.
Yes. Okay.
And I just saw another news article related to this, that Foo Fighters' Concrete and Gold album,
Yes.
#1 on the Billboard charts,
well,
just released.
America loves the Foo Fighters.
I Am America, as is evidenced by my everything.
Yeah, that's what proves it right there.
And Foo Fighters are coming to the Vivint Smart Home Arena Tuesday, December 12th.
What?
This always happens. I buy tickets to things and then we give them away. It makes me mad. Not that I could win them from us anyway. Tickets are on sale now at smithhicks.com. Now here's what's happening. That's the qualifying prize. I'm going to give you a keyword here. Your qualifying prize is tickets to see Foo Fighters in December here. Now what you're qualifying for is a chance to fly away and see Foo Fighters, The Killers, Cold War Kids, LCD Sound System, and many more. It's a 3-day music festival in New Orleans. So here is your keyword. Pretender. 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 Text that to 33986. This is all powered by Lyft Credit, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, Chainsaw Guy was disappointed. He thought he was going to come in. And
no.
I wondered what he was standing out there for. He thought he was
He
going
can
to come
go
in.
home now.
He thought he was going to do the keyword for this contest
No,
as well.
it's a different contest, Chainsaw Guy.
He was upset.
Well, I can see.
Yeah.
Got up early. And
Yeah, well, it's okay.
Let's see. Any other business we got to take care of?
No, I went to see. I saw that we did the premiere of Welcome to the Rubber Room.
Yes.
On Friday night.
How'd that do in the box office? You read the box office numbers earlier.
Yeah.
You didn't.
Oh, those were national numbers.
Oh.
We don't have the local numbers.
Oh.
I don't have the local. I think it's playing at the Tower. I should look it up.
Let me look. I'll go to slfs.org, Bill.
I think it's playing all this week. It's a movie that Trent Harris did that I'm in it, and lots of other people are in it, and we had a really nice time at the premiere, and thanks to everybody. A lot of friends of the program came, and the Tower Theater was pretty full.
Oh, good.
And
you can see it at 9 o'clock tonight at the Tower.
so my guess is it's like showing once a day at the Tower, and probably at 9 o'clock every time, something like that. And then there was a big party afterward, which I didn't go to because I was, because I'm still trying to get my voice better. So I didn't go to the party.
Did you walk the red carpet?
I felt bad about not going to the party, though, because I mean, really, everybody who was in the cast, they're just really great people, and we had a blast doing it, and being around Trent a lot is always a pleasure because he really is an interesting, eccentric, and very nice guy, and so we had a good time, and I hung out with an old friend of yours, Gina, Dan Morley.
I love Dan.
Used to be in Scabs on Strike, the band, Scabs on Strike, and yeah, he's certifiable.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah, he's great.
When I did my Extra Hard show, he wrote and performed my theme song.
You have it? We should.
Do you know what? I have it on DAT, which...
Oh.
Do we have a DAT player?
No, we used to.
Hey, Dan, if you're listening, give me a digital copy of Extra Hard theme song.
So he gave me a box. I guess I'd said to him a long time ago, I've never really heard much of your music. And he said, well, I'll prepare you a gift box. And this was a year ago or something. Well, he brought it to the premiere. And Except there's one. There was one CD in there. I think it's called Sugar Pants, and there's no CD in the case. Dan. Somehow they overlooked that, but
Dan's a talented, funny
he is.
guy.
He's very talented.
I did sports radio with Dan, believe it or not.
He was actually on the air as a sports broadcaster guy.
Really? Huh. Okay. Well,
I'll bet that's the last real job he ever had.
And even that was.
Oh no, he managed a racing team too.
Were you happy with your performance?
It's hard to say. One thing that's interesting is that I think I put on 20 pounds, like from when the first part of the movie that I'm in.
There's not good continuity.
I
in
look
there,
pretty
Bill?
good. I'm 20 pounds heavier in some of the pickups
because it was shot over the period of what, a year?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. Nobody'll notice, Bill. It's okay.
Welcome to the Rubber Room at the Tower Theater. Go see it.
We will be back with a little bit of news and then boner fights at 9:25.
I could have had the cast party at Park City. Park City Culinary Institute, which is right here in Salt Lake. It's on State Street, 1484 South State Street, and this would be a great place for you to arrange a company party.
Yeah, we're getting to the holiday season do something different. Go to Park City Culinary Institute because you can do a party there. You can just rent out the room, but you can also do like a cooking class.
Yeah, a little cooking together with members of your with the office staff, and I mean it's done in a fun way with people there to guide you how to do it. Park City Culinary Institute now here in Salt Lake. If your company's holiday parties leave a lot to be desired, do it there. Park City Culinary Institute, located downtown Salt Lake City, 1484 South State Street. Go to their website, too, and just look at the classes they offer. They have very intensive chef training classes, and then they just have kind of fun one-off classes as well. So you can go to parkcityculinaryinstitute.com. Hi, it's me, Bill Allred, and as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing better than good conversation and good food. So I've put them together with a podcast.
Gina wearing a turtleneck sweater today.
Covering up her hickeys. That's what people do.
It's interesting. People don't wear turtlenecks very often anymore.
Unless they're covering up hickeys.
You got something against hickeys?
That's why I used to have a dickie.
To cover your hickey?
To cover the hickey. It was my hickey dickie. I mentioned a dickie the other day, and I don't think anyone knew what I was talking about.
I don't think anybody has them anymore.
Dickie is now a clothing brand, and that's what it's known for.
As a matter of fact, that's what I said. Somebody said to me, "Oh yeah, I love Dickies. Their coats and their pants," and I went,
"Yeah,
no, I'm
an
never
actual
mind.
Dickie.
Never mind.
It's a fake shirt.
Dickie was a fake sweater.
Yeah.
Was it a fake shirt
it's
or
a collar?
Sweater?
It's
a fake sweater.
Fake sweater.
It was to make it look as though you were wearing a turtleneck
under your vest or jacket
or your shirt or whatever. Yeah, to make it look as though you were wearing a. It was really a stupid idea.
It was a dumb idea.
I had one, I think, for some reason.
But they were everywhere. It seems like I knew everybody had one.
Yeah.
Nobody wore them, but everybody had one.
It's a stupid idea.
Well, turtlenecks are stupid unless you're the Gorton's fisherman.
It's true.
Maybe I'm going fishing later.
Yeah, sure.
No, you're not. You're going to be way too warm in that.
You think?
Yeah.
You're dressed up for people today, aren't
We're
you?
seeing people.
Mm-hmm.
I've never worn this sweater, and I thought, I'll wear that.
Yeah, you'll be too warm. You'll be uncomfortable.
Too late now.
You're going to be sweating and sweating. It's going to be in your folds and everything.
I don't have any folds.
No, of course not. She's a lady.
Yeah.
I'm smooth top to bottom.
X96.
All right, 9:17. We got boner fight in a few moments. But first, a little bit of news.
Little bit of news brought to you by get unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus with Power Cashback credit card from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. Get details at ssfcu.org.
Lucas Kavar screamed for hours, hoping to get somebody's attention. Bats, salamanders, crayfish, and
Yikes.
beetles were his only company.
This sounds horrible.
Stranded in a cave
A cave?
without food or water, he was unsure that he would ever see his family again. He wrote notes to loved ones on his phone, which didn't have a signal. He licked moisture off the cave walls and became so hungry he thought, I may have to start eating these crickets. What was supposed to be a fun adventure turned into a hellish 58 hours for Mr. Kavar, a 19-year-old Indiana University student who was left behind during a group expedition on September 17th to Sullivan Cave near Bloomington, Indiana. When Mr. Kavar this year joined the university's caving club, which organized the trip.
What did he expect would happen being in the caving club?
He had well, you don't expect to be left behind. He had never been spelunking before. During the outing, he and 11 others, including a university staff member, divided into two groups and explored the cave for hours. Each person was assigned a buddy as a precaution of getting lost, Mr. Kavar said. Sullivan Cave is the fourth longest cave in Indiana. It has 9.63 miles of unmapped, or rather of mapped passage. Mr. Kavar became separated from the group at a long passage with a low ceiling. I thought, I'm not really enjoying this backbreaker part, Mr. Kavar said. I guess that's what they call that area of the cave. He left his group and tried to meet the other group, but he got lost, made his way back to the cave's entrance, but it was locked.
Where's the buddy? You don't leave your buddy.
He got separated. He was trapped without food or water, locked in the cave because they close it up and lock the door to it, so, lock the entrance to it.
They didn't count people as they were coming out?
Apparently not. The club's leaders were unaware of his whereabouts. Mr. Kavar's parents, who were both associate professors at Indiana University, called the school on Tuesday and reported their son missing. Man. So finally they figured out. Well, we haven't seen him.
Dude, did anybody see him after the cave?
He's not must not be a very assertive person.
I was going to say assertive or memorable or.
Yeah. A new order from the Trump administration is intended to indefinitely ban almost all travel to the United States from 7 countries, including most of the countries covered by his original travel ban, citing threats to national security posed by letting their citizens into the country. The new order is a far more reaching plan than the president's original travel ban, imposing permanent restrictions on travel rather than the 90-day suspension that Mr. Trump authorized soon after taking office. But officials said this new action was the result of a deliberative, rigorous examination of security risks that was designed to avoid the chaotic rollout of his first ban. And the addition of non-Muslim countries could address the legal attacks on earlier travel restrictions as discrimination based on religion. Yeah,
so I don't just hate the Muslims.
Look, so we're that's not a Muslim country.
Look, add a couple of non-Muslim countries in there.
Find one. Find a couple. Find some non-Muslim countries.
So the two that he added are North Korea.
Yeah.
Which there's no travel between here and there anyway.
That's a gimme. That's a gimme. All right.
And the other is Venezuela.
Very bad things happening in Venezuela right now.
Well, didn't he threaten to? He said Venezuela, and I mean it's
take
true.
Military action.
It's true. They're having a horrible time there, and the citizens, the people of Venezuela, are being just tossed around like rag dolls. But he said, "Yeah, we'll do military action." No, I don't think so. And freckles are trendy these days.
Trendy?
Yeah, it's.
Where do I get some?
Well, you can.
I can?
Yes.
Tattoo freckles?
Yes.
Is that what they are?
Temporary freckle tattoos. Having freckles has, they come in and they go in and out of style, kind of. Right now, it is a beauty trend, and you can get temporary freckle tattoos. Now you can also get them permanently put on. You can get them.
That's a commitment, though.
Yeah,
That's a...
permanently tattooed. But if you don't want that, you can try getting these temporary tattoos.
Like a henna, that would be the right color.
No, they're a website. There's a website, and you can go order them, and they're like those stick-on tattoos, that little kids use.
Yeah.
But they're just these sheets with dots on them.
What's wrong with your face? What's all that stuff on your face? Is that skin cancer?
They're trendy. They're in.
It looks like skin cancer.
What?
What's your deal?
No, those are my freckles.
They're trendy.
God, you're mean.
They've been going in and out of style, but they're guaranteed to raise a smile.
I used to have lots of freckles.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think my shoulders still have
a lot
of freckles on my
you still got
shoulders.
freckles on your
but I used to
shoulders.
have them all over my face.
But I don't think people are trendy putting
never liked
freckles
them.
on their shoulders. I don't think that's the trendy place.
No, that's the sexy part. Hey, you don't see my shoulders? They're freckled.
They're all freckly.
And, in the future, we'll, of course, have sex robots.
Yes. I mean, we have them now, but,
Yeah, I mean, but they'll, the technology will
get better and
get better and better and better. And it'll be mostly men who do this, I would think.
Probably.
So they'll have these sex robots, but just be aware when this happens and you get somebody could hack into your sex robot and program it to kill you.
That'll be a movie.
I think it is a
probably
movie.
Probably already has been, hasn't it? There was a big article about this several weeks ago in Jezebel, I think it was, about people will, and it was kind of a serious look at it, that these robots,
I don't trust it,
will be more and more, will do more and more things, and you could, it could be a danger to your life.
Camel's nose.
So,
Instigate
what
order
kind
66.
of a sick person with a camel's nose, Gina? Good Lord.
Instigate order 66.
What's wrong with
all the robots will kill their Johns.
All right, that's it.
Something, sexbot.
Camel's nose.
That's my sign off, by the way. You want weather? It's chilly right now, but just hold on a minute. It'll warm up. By Friday, we're into the mid-70s.
Leave it in the chat room to remember the movie that is, Ex Machina, which was a great movie.
Lisa Vikander.
Yeah, because
that's her first name?
Yeah, because she became the killer robot.
Yeah, she was the sex bot.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
It's Boner Fight.
Here we go.
With Radio from Hell on X96.
The winner from round one was Tally-ho, dude. Some help, please. British climbers. Well, they walked up the highest point in
I
Britain.
don't know that they were climbers.
It's the highest mountain in Britain, not very high, but they got up to the top, and then they, fired up the bongs, and had smoked a lot of cannabis, so much so that they were unable to walk, and they called for rescue, and had to be evacuated from the mountain in helicopters because they were too stoned.
That is really high.
Yeah. That's boner candidate number one. Going up against boner candidate number two, I had to get some cash for a bucket of extra crispy. Man robbing a bank, taking a bag of money, $10,000, and he went to the KFC with it, which is where the police arrested him.
There you go. All right, you've got to decide which of these two is boner of the day, which one of these two is the worst, because it is boner fight. Candidate one or candidate two? Put the winner, the one that you think should win, that is, in the message of your text. Text that to 33986. Or you can call 877-602-9696. And you could also go to x96.com and look for the box that says Boner Fight September 26 and vote that way. If you don't see that box, refresh. It should appear. All right, time to vote. Boner of the day, let's go. You got less than 300 seconds.
Is Utah's original alternative.
from the Girl Scouts.
Okay.
And then there's a nice letter say, "Hey Bill, we get you. You're a guy's guy. You have unassuming strength, a casual confidence, and an uncompromising integrity, and are so dumb you don't know this is a form letter.
Wow, they really know who I am.
You know the spread of Sunday's game and have a steak ready to grill and a cold drink waiting in the fridge. You're man enough to be a Girl Scout." So I've been given a membership in the Girl Scouts.
So what do you?
And then I got this.
Do you have to sell your own Girl Scout cookies?
No, I
now?
think what that means is they'll hit me up periodically for money.
Yeah, it's a great gift, then.
I didn't want to say that
So-
what they're doing is opening a door to something that you will regret later. But
now I get this card. Now, little Bill, sick. He's sick. He was very ill. Barfing and all that. So that explains the card. And with this card came 3 pairs of really nice underpants. Patagonia, silk weight, boxer briefs.
Underpants.
Which I really like. And they're very, it's expensive underwear. I mean, it's like, I think they're $30 a piece or something like that.
You should get a whole pair of pants for that.
So here's the card that came with it. At least I'm too sick to cause trouble. TROBLE.
Trouble.
And then you open it up and says, "Or am I?" ?
This is your Father's Day card?
Fortunately, you can cover your ass with these. Happy Father's Day. That's it.
Too sick. At least I'm too sick to cause trouble.
TROBLE.
Trouble.
Yeah, trouble.
Or am I?
And then you open it up.
That's a threat.
Or am I?
That's a threat, is what that is.
That's exactly what it is. So it was my Father's Day threat. Yes. Anyway, that's nice to be a Girl Scout, though.
Snowbird was awesome yesterday for Father's Day. There were a ton of people. Saw lots of friends of the program up there. They had garlic fries. It was perfect. They had bacon on sticks. Big, thick bacon on sticks.
So Gina was happy, and that made it a good Father's Day because she got what she wanted.
Well, no, everybody got. Joe got a massage up at the cliff. Daddy Gary got a massage up at the cliff.
Mm-hmm. But first and foremost, they had garlic fries.
They had garlic fries and
garlic
bacon on
fries.
sticks.
Yeah. I went out to the Christiansen Family Farm, Hog Heaven in Vernon on Saturday and bought a bunch of meat. That was pork and beef. And that's actually for my wife's birthday, who's her birthday today. She wanted meat for her birthday.
The gift of meat.
Everybody's got something.
Yeah. You?
No.
Nothing? Nothing? All right.
What? I'm not a father.
Well, you didn't see your dad.
I did.
Oh, you did
Oh,
see
you
your
did.
Yeah.
see your dad. How's he doing?
He's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's his
Did you
mustache?
give him meat?
No, he gives me meat.
Oh, okay.
He's the
Carrie-
farmer.
Carrie gives him money.
Yeah, I give him cash.
We've discussed that. Here, Dad. He does it under the table so nobody can see. Yeah, there you go. Hold
There you
out
go.
your hand.
Buy some more life-giving medicine. There you go.
Such a motion picture.
To the point of endurance. The blood of the Draculas. All right. I love those. 9:33, time to award Boner of the Day.
And Boner of the Day is brought to you by...
In part by
spaghetti with meat sauce and delicious garlic bread.
I want all that.
Yeah, I think I want...
I found a new way to make garlic bread. It's really good.
Well, what's the new way?
Quickly, you take several cloves of garlic,
Okay.
And you melt a stick of butter in a pan. Put the garlic in there and let it cook, kind of until it gets golden.
Okay.
Yeah, whole cloves.
Okay.
And then you put it in a separate, let it cool, put it in a separate bowl, add a handful of Parmesan cheese, a little bit of oregano, and some lemon zest, some of the lemon peel. And you mix it into a paste.
Yeah.
So it's real thick.
Yeah.
So you take a baguette, cut the baguette in half,
Yeah.
so you end up with like 4 pieces of baguette. You put them under the broiler, cut side down for 2 minutes. Just watch it so they don't burn.
Yeah.
Then take them out, turn them over, put that paste on them, put them back under the broiler for 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Gina will do it all but the Parmesan.
Yeah. You know, you could do, I guess you could do it without the Parmesan.
Sure you could. Watch me.
All right.
Watch me do it without the Parmesan.
So,
and Strong Volkswagen of Salt Lake City, you get 100% lifetime powertrain coverage. Your factory powertrain warranty becomes a lifetime warranty online at strongvw.com.
All right.
I'm trying to remember if there was a little touch of sugar in there, too. I don't think so. I don't think so. So there was Boner candidate number 1. Tally-ho, dude. Oh, some help, please. Getting too stoned to get back down the mountain in England. And Boner candidate number 2, I had to get some cash for a bucket of extra crispy. Guy robbed a bank in Florida, took the sack of money he got to the KFC, and it was there that the police arrested him as he was bumping a cigarette from a woman in the KFC. The winner, Boner candidate number 2, I had to get some cash for a bucket of extra crispy.
I was hoping for the British stoners, but there you go. That is now Boner of the Day for Monday. Is also now qualified to be candidate for Boner of the Week on Friday.
I was going to bring this up earlier in sports, but I'll bring it up now quickly because I love this. It's our good friends at Snowbird.
Yes.
They are getting a lot of notices for their new ad campaign. Now, this isn't their ad campaign with us. It's a print ad.
Print ads.
All right.
I think it's genius. They've taken bad reviews, like Yelp reviews, TripAdvisor reviews, and turned them into print ads. And there's this one that says 1 star, 1 out of 5 stars, too advanced. This is Greg from Los Angeles.
That means the skiing terrain is too advanced.
Oh, so this is their bad reviews.
Yeah, I've heard Snowbird is a tough mountain, but this is ridiculous. It felt like every trail was a steep chute or littered with tree wells. How's anyone supposed to ride that? Not fun. And they superimpose that on a really cool picture of somebody, a really good skier at Snowbird.
Oh.
I think it's genius because Snowbird isn't an easy place to ski.
No.
It's
see, I'm not a very good skier. There are places there that are fun.
Yeah, they have easy hills. But
they do, but it's got a lot of expert terrain.
It's steep.
It is steep, yeah.
And I just thought that was really smart.
You know,
take those bad reviews and make them your...
Print ads are interesting, aren't they? I want to talk about this other print ad.
Oh, okay.
This is a print ad for our good friend Kurt Bester. I mean, he's my good friend. I don't know.
I don't feel comfortable.
I've seen Kurt naked.
So that immediately.
Now, and I like Kurt Bester.
I like him. He's a decent enough guy.
Every year he does his Christmas show. It's I think he's done it for like 45 years now or something like that. And he's going to do it again this year at the Eccles Center. And he has some print ads for it. Do we have that, Dylan? x96.com/live. So, so there's the picture that they're using in the print ads.
You know what I want?
He looks insane.
I'll reserve my comment till a few moments.
Doesn't he look crazy?
So this is the picture that they're using?
Yeah. For the Kurt
So
Bester
describe it for people that
well,
can't.
it's a black and white photo, and Kurt's a very handsome guy, but it's a black and white photo, and he has his right hand, kind of. It's just a close up of his face, and he has his right hand kind of covering part of his face,
like Phantom of the Opera.
Well, no, I don't know.
It's that's the vibe I get from.
And he's got a vein on his forehead bulging out, and he just looks kind of maniacal.
Maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's Kurt Bester's maniacal Christmas.
I don't
show.
think so. I don't think so.
It might be. He's done the same Christmas stuff for a long time. Maybe he's mixing it up a little bit.
Now, am I wrong? I've seen this ad
He's
twice
better
now.
looking than that.
Well, but I've seen this ad twice now, and every time I see it, I go, he looks crazy. Am I wrong?
I would no, you're correct. I would like one of our listeners who is Photoshop aware to take that picture and make him into the Heath Ledger Joker. Show it again, Dylan. Show it again here at x96.com/live. See?
Mm-hmm.
That's the Heath Ledger Joker right there.
You think?
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
Put the the makeup on his face.
Like I said, I think this is for Kurt Bester's maniacal Christmas.
Can we get a hold? Can we get a hold of? Can we get a hold? I want to get a hold of Kurt, and I would like to know what the thinking was, because he approved it. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he did.
He approved it, and I just and Gina, we were looking for the picture earlier. There's another one where he's kind of laying back on a chair and laughing. And it looks kind of maniacal in that one, too.
Like I said,
he's becoming a supervillain.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I like maniacal Christmas special. I like that.
Kurt
and if he doesn't do that, we should.
Maniacal Christmas special.
The Radio from Hell maniacal Christmas special.
Dylan, you looked at the picture. Am I off base on this? Doesn't he look kind of...
No, he looks insane.
Or he looks, or sinister. He looks kind of sinister.
What was he going for? Was he going for whimsical? Or
I think he was going for accurate representation of himself.
No.
I love Kurt. Kurt's a good guy. I like
the other one.
The other one where he's
Again, paint his face like the Joker.
Yeah.
And I want both of those. If our listeners who are Photoshop aware, take both of those pictures. The one especially the one where he's leaning back and kicking up his leg, because he's in this bright red suit. That's something the Joker would wear.
I hadn't seen that one until today.
Ooh, that could even be a good if you're Photoshopping Kurt Bester, which I really would encourage as a good use of your time. Would be also a good Captain Jack Sparrow. Put some pirate braids on him.
Yeah, you could.
Some boots.
Yeah, you could.
There's some fun you can have there.
You mean like that?
Been done. Never mind. Already done. She shared it on his thing.
Somebody did it.
I thought that's why you were saying it. No?
No. Oh. Nope. But in his defense, I think sometimes, you go to these photo shoots for press, and they take a million pictures, and they yell at you to do different things, and then they choose their favorites and send it to your, I recently went through a huge file of your guys' headshots.
Oh, no.
To make some stuff for Radio from Hell television, from years worth of your headshots, hundreds of photos, and it's very much your personality. So there's photos of Bill in there and making all kinds of stupid, dumb faces, wearing silly costumes, and prancing around with an umbrella, a woman's umbrella from like the 20s, and there's some of Carrie kind of making big gestures and some silly faces, but no costumes. And then there's not a single photo that Gina would allow to be taken where she's not looking and smiling and being pretty. She wouldn't. You don't allow it. None of them were taken. There are no entertaining photos of Gina at all.
They're entertaining photos.
No, they're all glamour shot photos.
I mean, you photograph very well.
You do. You were going for hot.
You look lovely, but after they're
You're
just
bored.
boring. They're just
You're
boring.
bored.
Yeah.
You wanted me to be wacky.
Yeah, wacky Gina. So Kurt Bester did some wacky photos, and
We
he
see
probably
what happens.
Somebody chose him, and he went, "Oh, really? The one where I'm kicking my foot up."
I bet he wishes he'd just done "I'm just good-looking Kurt Bester" photo.
No. See, but the thing is, and if I know anything about Kurt, and it's the way we handle these things usually, we say, "No, you can't use that one. No, you can't use that one. No, you can't use that one." So I'm thinking he had to approve these.
Well, we're talking about him.
Well,
all right.
We'll get him in here and talk to him about it.
I desperately want a Joker
Photoshop of the one with his
Someone will
hand
do
on his
it.
face.
Someone
I
will
want
do
that
it.
so bad.
Maybe he was just having bad plumbing problems at his house. And
No.
No.
You know, I know we're trying to ease these in.
But I ran it. Remember when I ran into him in the grocery store and he was buying? He had a plunger, some Drano, and a red rose.
That is true. That
remember me
sounds like
telling that
plumbing
story?
problems.
ShamrockPlumbing.net.
Yeah, Kurt Bester. No, call Shamrock Plumbing 801-295-1690. Shamrock, doesn't matter how big or small the job is, they will get it done.
I was so angry when my kitchen faucet started leaking because I liked that one, but then we got a better one, and Shamrock Plumbing came and put it in. I love this new one now.
Yeah, don't try to do that yourself, because Carrie, you could have gone to Home Depot and
Easily.
got it.
I
and
could have,
No, let Shamrock Plumbing do it.
Yeah, they just fixed a leaky faucet at my house. I'm so glad to have that done. Again, no job too big or too small. Plus, they do water heaters and water softeners and water purification systems. So call Shamrock Plumbing, 801-295-1690, or go to their website, shamrockplumbing.net.
X96 is your home for non-stop music. We give you a 1 hour... Radio from Hell with Carrie, Bill, and Gina. 96.3 FM, X96.
Richie flew back from Cedar City, and he flew back on the plane, on the SkyWest plane, with a celebrity.
I sitting in the waiting room, the lobby, if you will, waiting to get on my plane. Hey,
at the terminal?
At the terminal. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah. But, Cedar City has a brand new airport, so it's not really like a terminal. Mm-hmm. It's like a cabin, like a mini Cabela's looking airport thing.
Okay.
And terminal was the word I probably should have used there. Right. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I see my old friend Mike Leavitt, former governor, and now
his old friend.
Well, and here's why. Hey, Mike. Apparently now Bill told me I should have called him Mr. Secretary. But I said, hey, Mike. Hey, Richie. How's it going?
So how do you know Mike Leavitt? He's from Cedar City.
He's a Cedar SUU grad, and I met him the first time my dad used to work for him.
Oh, that's right.
And then also, though, when I did a TV show down at Southern Utah University called SUU Live, and we had him come on and sing Happy Birthday to us. He thought he was going to be discussing hard-pointed issues, and it was kind of a mix between Saturday Night Live and a late show with David Letterman kind of format. And so we got him to come on and sing Happy Birthday to us and eat birthday cake.
Yeah, it was like the Late Show with David Letterman and what else?
And Saturday Night Live.
But kind of the non-funny versions
of
those.
Exactly. If you can remove all the humor from those.
All of the intelligence and humor out of it. It was kind of like that.
That's exactly what it was. So he sang Happy Birthday, and he's never let us forget that.
So did you tell him what you were doing? Where you'd been? Did you chat with him at all?
I did. I said, I've been working. I was down here for the radio station. He knew that I worked. He said, how's that going? I said, pretty well, working in Salt Lake. Work for X96. And he kind of went, he knew exactly what that was. I said, you're welcome to be on the program tomorrow morning if you'd like. I guess he was flying to D.C. later last night, too, so obviously he couldn't. But
did he have really any idea what X96 was?
I think
he's been on the show before.
Yeah, his face read like that he had a clue, an inkling, if you will. But just, I asked him. I said, this bird flu really a big deal? Are we really needing to worry about it?
And he said, nah.
Yeah, forget it. No, he says, it's kind of like a tropical storm. It could be something big or could be nothing. I said, okay, thanks.
What a thoughtful man. He's such a thoughtful man.
He was a nice guy.
So you rode back to Salt Lake with Mike Leavitt, eh?
Yeah.
All right.
He snores, I think. It was either he or his Secret Service guy that was snoring in the front of the plane. There was only 10 of us, so we're like, come on.
I'll bet it's him. You know why he's snoring, don't you?
No idea.
He has bird flu. That's one of the first symptoms. You snore.
I'm surprised he was flying with the bird flu.
Oh, no. It makes it easy to fly. Yeah, that's part of. You get the bird flu. Part of it is you start to fly.
96.3 X96. Radio from Hell on X96.
So our
I was just going to say, I used to be a cigarette smoker, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I would smoke, every once in a while I'd try to smoke Lucky Strikes. They'd tear your throat out. They were horrible.
You weren't man enough then.
They were horrible. I'd smoke unfiltered Camels, not Luckies. Ugh.
Our consultant,
yes,
the all-knowing suit.
Yes.
He's put together a Radio from Hell's maniacal Christmas special print ad.
Oh, good.
With perfect photos.
Mm-hmm.
I think these should all be our various obituary photos, the ones he's put together
Really?
here.
What do you? Why would I need an obituary photo?
Well, someday you'll need one.
You think? No, I won't.
No?
Nah.
No, but
You need. I asked Dylan to grab it, and
is Bill Standalone mustache in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's at the Kimpton Hotel in New York. And
you had Standalone mustache at that time.
Yeah, I was doing it for Movember.
Yeah.
No.
Pass on that. Somebody in our chat room has done a very quick Kurt Bester as the Joker. And I appreciate the fast efforts.
But it's not good?
I would take your time with it. Do it right.
Yeah, that's not
I mean, it's okay. I mean, that had to have been done in just
Yeah.
minutes. Take your time with it and make it good. And
Carrie wants a reusable one.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate that you got it to me that quickly. I really do. But take your time with it. You know?
And next time, don't use crayons.
And it just seemed,
I don't know what
the yellow lines on the forehead were.
No.
There was no yellow on the Joker's face.
No, we got to get a hold of Kurt and find out what the thinking was behind that photo, because it's really, really odd to me. But I mean, we have done some pretty horrible.
Oh well, yeah.
We've had some pretty horrible.
Those ones where we all look dead. We looked like we had been prepared for our caskets.
A mortician did the makeup. It was a woman who worked at a mortuary.
It was not their regular makeup person, I was told.
No.
And we looked like we were ready to be placed in the casket.
I kept saying to that woman, I remember this, and these were portraits that were supposed to hang at the radio station so that when clients and guests would come, they would see.
All the employees up there.
And it was really nice to have them up there, because when a picture would go missing every couple of weeks, you'd know that somebody had been fired.
Yep.
But so they're all, when the woman was putting the makeup on me, I said, this is too much makeup. What are you doing? And she said, no, it'll be fine. These are black and white. This will read just great on black and white. I said, I don't think so.
It stood out more in the black and white.
I look like a woman. I wonder if those are around somewhere still.
They were terrible. Probably still in that building.
Yeah, still hanging on the wall.
Well, not on the wall, but certainly in a back room.
Closet.
Nobody cleans out those things.
There are only two things left in that building.
Oh, yeah?
24-hour fitness. This is Trolley Corners.
Yeah.
24-hour fitness and the Italian restaurant.
The travel agency's gone?
Yeah. What's the restaurant?
Tucci's.
Tucci's, yeah.
Tucci's.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it. Tucci's, always open. I don't know who goes there, but it's always open.
Somebody.
Now, somebody says that Kurt Bester is mimicking the Robert Palmer Riptide album cover. And yes.
Oh, is he?
To my memory, look, Google image Robert Palmer Riptide album cover. That might be what he was going for.
Could be. Wouldn't surprise me if he's a Robert Palmer fan.
Because I recall that cover.
No, hand on the forehead.
Head on the forehead?
Yeah. Oh, I know, like this, right?
Different.
Gina, it's like this, right?
No, you can see Robert Palmer's face.
Yeah,
you can see Robert Palmer's face in that. So yeah, Kurt, if that's what he was going for, he did it poorly.
No, he's not covering his face. That's in the hair.
Yeah.
That's not it.
But Robert Palmer looks crazy too.
Someone take the time to do a Robert Palmer, Heath Ledger Joker makeup. And again, don't hurry. Take your time. Let's see now. Did we decide how the rewriting? Because
you want me to do that line?
I'll trade you. I'll swap you.
Just trade us line. We'll just trade.
I don't have a.
Oh, okay, so I'll be B.
I don't have. I don't have it.
You don't have the promo?
Mm-mm.
I'll be B.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
All right, so you're K.
Yeah.
On Tuesday's Radio from Hell show.
At 6:45, it's our X poll. Do you have a name that causes you trouble, that people have trouble pronouncing, that gets you into trouble? We'll talk about your name on the X poll.
At 8 a.m., Sister Dottie S. Dixon, all the way from Spanish Fork.
And then at 9, Todd will come in and play us a little tune. It's Tuesday, Little Tunes with Little Todd.
Also at 9, we have another keyword for Foo Fighters tickets.
That's all on Tuesday's Radio from Hell show on X96.
I don't know if that still described it well or not.
We can do it better tomorrow.
Oh, all right. It is a little tricky. Let's see. Anything else that we need to take care of before we go? Any business? No business?
No.
All right. Hudson has been here today.
Yeah, you haven't I didn't know if you didn't want to talk about it or.
Yeah. He's going to be here tomorrow and Wednesday as well.
Are you taking him to the dentist?
I'm taking
him. He has
him.
a pretty severe underbite.
That, I'm afraid, would require surgery to repair. Yes?
John, not here, so the Richie T experience.
Where's
for
John?
The next couple. He's in Disneyland.
Again?
Of course.
Yeah.
God.
He's
he goes like 5 times a year.
Why does that surprise you?
He's got the annual pass. There are at least a dozen people in our building who have the annual pass to Disneyland, and that's where they go on vacation.
They do.
So no John Smith, but me with wingdings and tickets to go see the Foo Fighters and get the Foo Fighters album with a keyword after 2 o'clock, and that's coming up on the show.
Okay, there you go. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
Something sex bot.
All right. Not John Smith is next.